down. High time. Wolves take the lead.
Good afternoon and welcome to Brazel Stadium on the campus of Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. The rubber match between the host, the GCU Lopes, and the visiting Seattle Redhawks. The Lopes come in 23 and 22, 17 and 3 in conference play, looking to win another conference series. They have yet to drop a conference series this season. The Redhawks 16, 27 and 1, 6 and 11 in conference play. The Redhawks took game one on Friday night by a score of 9-8, and then it was a bit of a bloodbath on Saturday. The Lopes opened up the scoring with 5 in the first, scored 10 in the fourth, and run ruled the Redhawks. 19-0 was the final score. Jake Repovich went the complete game and got the victory. Take a look now on the mound for GCU. The freshman Jack Schneider, the lefty out of Gilbert, Arizona, and Basha High. Take a look at Jack's numbers. Great numbers on the year, and this kid's really done a great job solidifying the Sunday role. Jack, 4.28 ERA, a record of 4-0. This is his 8th start of the year. In 33 and 2/3 innings, he's given up 30 hits, 16 runs. 16 of those runs were earned, 14 walks, and 21 strikeouts. Opposition hitting .238 against Schneider. Take a look at the defense as we go around the horn in the outfield behind Schneider. You got LaRouge in left, Pavlica in center, and Schwartz in right. The best defensive outfield the Lopes can put up there. Zach Malice back at third base, Mark Mumper at short, Austin Bull at second, Ian Evans at first, and Griffin Barnes behind home plate. We'll talk more about Griffin and the spectacular defensive play he made in the ball game last night. You get a look at Austin Bull, a leadoff batter for GCU. Got things going for the Lopes in the bottom of the first yesterday with the great at-bat Coach Stankiewicz talked about. See if he can do it again here in the bottom of the first at Brazel. First things first, though, Schneider on the hill. He'll face Griffin Anderchuk, Austin Lively, Aaron Struzma, the first three. We are underway. First pitch misses outside, ball one. So Anderchuk, Lively, Struzma, Perrin, Hurd, Wells, Sutton, Ciancio, and Murphy. Anderchuk coming into the ball game here today, and that one catches the outside corner for a strike, hitting .280 on the season, his senior campaign. Couple home runs and 18 RBI. Just a few hits shy of the all-time Seattle hit record. Trying to track it down in his senior season. Got 3 hits in this series. There's hit number 4 over the head of Mumper into left field, and Seattle gets things started with a base knock by Anderchuk. That'll bring up Austin Lively. So Seattle U gets a leadoff man aboard. Beautiful day here, 68 degrees of stark contrast to how hot it was on Friday and Saturday, and a very windy those days. A little 10-mile-an-hour breeze out of the west-southwest, so it's blowing out toward right field once again. But 68 degrees, only get up to about 71. Shot right back up the box past Schneider. Back-to-back base hit singles, and the first 2 Redhawks are aboard. So Schneider not fooling anyone early here. Struzma, the redshirt senior, transferred over or came over after graduating from Liberty University. Steps up to the plate. Struzma, 309 on the year, 5 homers, leads the team in that category, 33 RBI. Now, do you have your number 3 hole hitter drop a bunt down here? We'll see. Jeff James coaching down at third base. Mike Nato down at first. Evans playing behind the runner at first base. Pitch by Schneider. They are going to bunt. Malice is going to let it go foul. Strike 1. Well, you don't see this much at the higher levels of baseball. A number 3 hole hitter who's hitting .308 and leads the team in home runs, dropping down a sacrifice bunt. And coming on the heels of a 19-0 ball game, playing for a couple runs early, might be an interesting call. But Donnie Harrell, in his 8th season, restarted the program at Seattle, deciding he'd like to get a couple runs on the board and put some pressure on the freshman lefty. See if he's bunting again here. It's not odd for these skippers to show the bunt initially and then decide against it on the second. Checking the runners. Schneider taking his time in the pitch. Not bunting. Swing and miss at a high strike, 0-2. So, as we expected, taking the bunt off there on the second pitch, but Schneider threw that one out of the strike zone. Got a gift as chased by Struzma. Struzma hitting .250 on the series, 2 for 8. Started both the games. Up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, in talking with Coach Stankiewicz prior to the ball game, what's impressed him about Jack Schneider is very similar to what Jake Repovich does, and he's been able to mature very quickly, but he's got to be able to place that fastball. Also throws a changeup and really relies on the off-speed pitch, the breaking pitch. When that is on, he's tough to beat. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. That pitch, another one off the plate, and Struzma couldn't resist. So big strikeout now. The Lopes a double play away from getting out of this inning and shifting the momentum. Curtis Perrin. Perrin, the left-handed inning junior second baseman for the Red Hawks. Perrin hitting .283 on the season, 4 homers, 18 RBI. Perrin 2 for 6 in the series so far. GCU comes in 2.5 games up on New Mexico State. Magic number, any combination of 4 wins or losses by the Lopes and New Mexico State would give them their second Western Athletic Conference title, regular season title, in 4 years back in D1, back in the Western Athletic Conference. Malice playing about even with the bag, creeping in. Perrin not bunting. That pitch, boy, it looked like they wanted it outside. Barnes was setting up for something off the plate, and it came back inside. Ball 1. Well, this game's slowing down in this first inning with the runners on. The 1-0. Missed inside, 2-0. And Schneider laboring here to find the strike zone. We saw on Friday night, Jake Wong had a tough outing, and it was the same type of thing, trying to paint those corners, not getting the calls a lot of the time for Jake on Friday night. These have just been off the plate. Ruben Candelaria behind home plate, John Bullock at first, Jeffrey Maxey, your umpire, down at third. And Maxey, of course, positioned in between second and third base now with runners on. Big lead over there at first by Lively. In the air. Wind pushing it back a bit, but Schwartz has it. Anderchuk's going to tag. The throw is going to be cut off, and Anderchuk's going to move up to third. So runners at the corners now with a couple of outs. And Dalton Hurd, the right-handed hitting junior center fielder at the plate. So back-to-back base hit singles by Anderchuk and Lively. Struzma struck out, and Perrin flies out to right. So Schneider with a chance to get himself out of the jam with the first 2 reaching. Dalton Hurd in this series 2 for 6, has a run, also has a double in the series. Hurd hitting .289 with 4 homers, 22 RBI. On the outside corner for a strike, says Ruben Candelaria. So Schneider heading the count. No balls and 1 strike. But we'll talk more about the standings in the Western Athletic Conference. But the thing to remember about this game is the top 6 teams make the tournament. Top 7 this year and for the last 3 years prior, because the Lopes are not allowed to be in the mix in the tourney, as that one misses. And they typically are one of the top 6 teams. So it goes down to number 7. Right now, the Red Hawks are sitting in that 7th spot, which would be the 6th spot in the tourney, but just a half game up on UTRGV. UTRGV taking the weekend off. So a loss here by the Red Hawks, and they would be deadlocked with UTRGV, but they lost the series to the Vaqueros. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. So now Schneider a strike away from getting out of this one. The Lopes 2.5 games up on New Mexico State. The Lopes had their power output of 19 runs yesterday, which Hard to score that many runs in a ball game in D1 baseball. New Mexico State in the first 2 games up at Utah Valley won 24-1 and 16-6. I joked on a Friday night after the 24 runs that they were on pace for 72. They just might get it. Fouled off right side. Wynn's going to push that one out of play as Gary comes over and runs out of room. So 40 runs already for New Mexico State in the first 2 games of that one. They're already up 2-0 in the top of the 5th. Boy, this is a pitcher's duel. This is a 2-0 ball game. So the Lopes wanting Utah Valley to help them out here and saddle New Mexico State with a loss. Make their magic number 3. The 1-2. Fouled off again. Good at bat by Dalton Hurd, staying alive and pushing Jack Schneider to continue to make quality pitches. Connor Moore will get the start for Seattle in this one. Good redshirt senior lefty coming back from some injuries. In the air on the infield. Snyder wanted to take it. Evans calls him off, and Jack Schneider pitches out of a jam. 2 base hits by the top 2 hitters for the Redhawks in this inning, Anderchuk and Lively. But then a strikeout, a flyout, and then a pop-out. And once again, Jack Schneider gets out of the inning. So no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and a couple of guys left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. No score here with the Lopes coming up. Let's get right to the GCU starting lineup in this one. Grand Canyon University coming in off that 19-run output from last night. And boy, I tell you what, it really is the top 2 guys in this lineup that have got it going. Now, everybody hit the ball well last night, obviously. But in this series, the Lopes have scored 27 runs on 27 hits, and it's all started with those guys right there. You see Greg Bordas talking to Austin Bull, and then off to the left of them, as you're looking at the camera, there's Tom LaRouge. The top 2 hitters, 1 and 2, Bull will lead off, LaRouge will hit second, are 10 for 14, hitting .714 in this series. They've combined for 8 runs, 5 RBI, 3 walks, a sac fly, 2 extra base hits, and have not struck out in this series. And Austin Bull got his first home run of his GCU career on Friday night. Bull, a .778 on base percentage. LaRouge, a .667 on base percentage. And Bull, OPS over 2,000. Unbelievable for those guys. We'll take a look at the rest of the lineup. Bull leads off. LaRouge hits second. Ian Evans will bat third. Garrison Schwartz will bat fourth. Preston Pavlica, the center fielder, bats fifth. Greg Sines, the DH, bats sixth. Zach Malice will bat seventh. Griffin Barnes, eighth. And Mark Mumper, ninth. Take a look at the pitcher on the mound here. It's going to be Connor Moore, the lefty, the redshirt senior. Moore coming off some trouble with the arm. The elbow he had in 2015 did not require Tommy John surgery. But Moore, a 4.5 ERA, record of 2-1 on the year. This is his 5th start in 36 innings. He's given up 40 hits, 20 runs, 18 earned. He's walked 17 and struck out 31. Opposition hitting 305 against Connor Moore. Defensively for Moore, Struzman in left, Hurd in center, Chase Wells in right. We'll get to the infield in a minute. First pitch misses inside, ball 1 to Austin Bull, and he may take quite a few pitches. He likes to do that. Austin Lively at third, Griffin Anderchuk at short, Curtis Perrin at second, Sean Sutton at first, and Kyler Murphy, the local boy, behind the plate. That went in there for a strike, 1-1. Murphy out of Liberty High School. Almost played JUCO ball with the intent of possibly transferring to GCU, but signed with Seattle and headed up to the Pacific Northwest. Missed outside. The Lopes were very heavy with young catchers the time Murphy was coming out. He had Barnes and McDonald and Meyer. Humberto Aranda was still in the mix. Missed down low. 3 balls and 1 strike to Austin Bull. So Murphy decided to head up to Seattle. It's been a good location for him. Starting here in his sophomore year, the 3-1 from Connor Moore. Shot up the middle, base hit. So both teams' leadoff man get base hits to start the ball game. And Bull waiting, and getting that 3-1 pitch and just laces it right back up the box. Austin Bull hitting close to 500 from the leadoff spot. Now Tom LaRouge. While you look at what these Lopes have done, the top of the order, I mentioned it to you. LaRouche in 357. Throw over him. Bull back to the bag. Tom coming into this one in conference play, hitting .425 with a homer and 21 RBI. Seems like LaRouge might be a little upset he was left off that preseason all-WAC team. Tough bunt. The throw, did they get him? They didn't get him. LaRouge beats it out. Bang, bang play down there at first. Boy, Moore had to get that one. Murphy took him a while to get out of the box there. Probably a play you might want your catcher to get. The third baseman, Lively, was coming in, but no chance for him to get it. So back-to-back singles once again, and you can see as we rewind it, Moore does the best he can. He fires the ball down there. Yep, and Tom LaRouge beats it out by a half step. Well, we'll see if Coach Stankiewicz has his number 3 hole hitter bunting, as Donnie Harrell did with his number 3 hole hitter when he had runners at first and second. Coach Stankiewicz in his 6th season at GCU. Evans showing no sign of bunting there, and I'd be shocked if he did. Ian hitting .335 on the year, hitting .342 with runners on and .362 with runners in scoring position. 4 homers, 40 RBI. Moore takes a look. The pitch. Fouled off, so he gets ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, Evans has been chasing Garrison Schwartz for the RBI lead, and every time he gets close, Gary knocks in a few. Gary at 43 RBI, and he's on deck. You look at the series that these guys are having. Ground ball could be 2. Anderchuk, it took some time. Gets it over to second for 1. Thrown away by the second baseman. It ricochets back to Sutton, but Bull's going to come around to score. 1-0 GCU. Well, he might have should have eaten that one, I guess, for Perrin, but he tried to turn it. A good throw probably would have had. Probably would have had him with a good throw, but the throw got away from Sutton well wide, and Bull comes around to score to make it 1-0. So Evans down there at first. LaRouge retired the first out, 6-4. Evans reaches on the fielder's choice. Bull comes in to score on the E4. Garrison Schwartz at the plate. First pitch misses inside to Gary. Garrison Schwartz getting .294, 7 homers, 43 RBI. The pitch, ground ball right side, doesn't get through. Perrin's got it. Only play at first base, makes it nicely. Boy, Perrin covered a lot of ground to get that when Evans moves up to second. I thought that had base hit written all over it, and the way it was going to look like it was going to chop through the right side. Thought Evans might be standing on third. We'd have runners at the corners with 1 out, but a nice play by Perrin. You see him ranging in the grass, takes his time, sets himself, fires a strike. Starts him with a breaking pitch to Preston Pavlica. Misses, 1-0. Preston in .279, 2 homers, 14 RBI. The 1-0. Two and 0. Well, Preston in this series, 2 for 7, 2 runs, 5 RBI. And he did it all yesterday. 3-0. Pavlica yesterday was 2 for 2 with 2 runs and 5 RBI. Also reached on a couple of walks. And the numbers, of course, the Lopes put up yesterday were gaudy. If you watch the broadcast, Barry Butel and Shea Hillenbrand said, hey, it's going to be tough to pick a player of the game in this one. Obviously, Jake Repovich was going to be one of the players of the game, so they went co-players of the game, the 3-0, in there for a strike. Pavlica was headed down to first, 3-1. But it was tough because you had Ian Evans go 2 for 3 with 4 runs and 4 RBI. You had Gary go 2 for 2 with 3 runs and 3 RBI. And Pavlik go 2 for 2 with 2 runs and 5 RBI. Bull went 3 for 4 with a couple of runs scored. LaRouche 3 for 3 with 3 runs scored. The 3-1 misses. Ball 4. They settled on Garrison Schwartz as the co-player of the game, but boy, you could have given it to any of those guys. Greg Signs, the DH in this one. Tyler Wyatt getting the break. So Signs at the plate with 2 outs, runners at first and second. Lopes already have a run across. We are in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Moore, breaking pitch in there for a strike. Signs in .305, 2 homers, and 7 RBI. Signs 2 for 4 in this series. Played on Friday night, got the start at the DH, did not play yesterday. We'll take a look at the WAC leaderboard after this inning when this is inside 1-1. We got 3 games going on. Sac State at Chicago State, Northern Colorado at Bakersfield, New Mexico State at Utah Valley. New Mexico State now 4-0 on Utah Valley in the top of the 5th. The 1-1. Another good breaking pitch in there for a strike. Well, Connor Moore just lit up the Cape Cod League and then had to miss most of 2015 with an elbow injury. It wasn't requiring Tommy John surgery to the UCL, but the ligament there kept kind of slipping off the bone. Missed outside, 2-2. So he had to have multiple surgeries and rehab almost as if it was Tommy John. Came back, pitched well, as I mentioned, in the Cape Cod League. Has that fastball, changeup, curve. It's really his curveball. We've seen it here that if he can spot that, he's deadly. Was not expecting to even be a starter here this season, his redshirt senior season. Pressed into action on Sundays with the injuries to the top 2. Ground ball up the middle. Going to get through. It does. Evans is going to come around to score. Going quickly to third. Pavlik forces the action and makes it safely. Well, Perrin did everything he could with that little bouncer up the middle. It wasn't struck hard. Moore reached out with the bare hand trying to grab it. Perrin tried for it, knowing that if it got through, a run would score. It did, and boy, Preston Pavlik with the ball in front of him, showing that speed and athleticism, takes third, and it's a 2-0 GCU lead, and Zach Malice at the plate. Evans definitely going to score after it got through the middle. So Signs picks up the RBI and the base hit single. He's got 3 hits in the series and 5 at-bats. Boy, that offering from Moore kind of broke right in on Malice. Malice had the home run yesterday. Malice got the night off Friday, came back with a vengeance, and got a chance to hit against the lefty here. 1-1 the count. Wyatt played third on Friday. Zach Malice hitting a .184 against lefties and .305 against righties. The 1-1. Right back to Moore. Gloves it. The underhand toss, and that is the inning. But the Lopes get a couple of runs to come across on 3 hits. There was 1 error and a couple left on base. We've completed 1. 2-0 GCU with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Time. You always take the time for ballet class and doctor's appointments, for school meetings and school drop-offs, late nights, early mornings. You wouldn't have it any other way. Bad dreams and good days. Big chapters and little moments. But as they grow, you can too. There's never been a better time to create a better future. GCU's online degree program puts you first, so you can make the most of your time. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University.
2-0 GCU with the lead over Seattle as we go to the second inning. The Redhawks come in a half game up on UTRGV for that final playoff spot and invitation to the WAC. Turning the Lopes come in 2.5 games up on New Mexico State. Take a look at the standings here. And GCU, you look at the records there. The Lopes have a few more games. They've played one more series in New Mexico State. So at the end of the year, when the Lopes are playing non-conference, New Mexico State will have a chance to make up a game and a half if they sweep their final game. So Lopes looking for a combination of wins and losses equaling 4, and the conference title is theirs. Chase Wells, Sean Sutton, Michael Ciancio. The first pitch, he hits him, and he's aboard. Well, that one didn't do what it was supposed to do. So second inning in a row, the leadoff man has been aboard. First inning, Andrewchuk got a base hit here, hit by the pitch. So Sutton at the plate, left-handed junior first baseman, and squares to bunt. That breaking pitch misses, ball 1. Lopes got 2 in the first. Lead at 2-0 here in the second. Schneider, the pitcher for GCU, didn't have his best stuff in that first inning. After a couple of base hits, he got a strikeout, a fly out, and a pop-out. Seemed like he settled down a bit. Let's see if he can keep it going here. That fastball in there for a strike, 1-1. But even that one, it looked like Griffin Barnes was looking for that a little more on the outside part of the plate, and it sailed right back inside. Sutton in 212 on the year, 1 homer, 18 RBI. 3 for 7, though, in this series. Hitting .429 with a run. Throw over and the runner back. Wells at first base is yet to attempt a stolen base this season. Schneider's going to throw over again. Well, the wind has died down a bit here. We're used to this time of year the typical 100-plus degree weather with the noon start, but we're getting a break. Just 68 degrees at first pitch. Fouled off, so Schneider heading the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jack Schneider coming off that 7-inning win at New Mexico State in Las Cruces. That was a career high, 7 innings, and he threw a shutout. Gave up just 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 2. Tried to check his swing, run around, didn't even ask, and Sutton grimaces. Could not hold off. Second strikeout of the ball game for Schneider. Ciancio at the plate now. He's a DH in this one, typically a pinch hitter for this squad. Big swing and a miss, hitting .233 on the year. 3 homers, 17 RBI. Ciancio, 1 at-bat in this one, and he was a strikeout victim. Quick snap throw over by Schneider, and Wells gets back safely. Well, that strikeout of Sutton was actually, I believe, a called strike, right, on the inside corner. Typically, they'll point at the batter if it's a check swing that he went around, or they'll ask for help. But Just called it a strike on the inside corner, which is why the grimace. I thought he might have gone around anyways, but trying to check his swing. But so now counted as a caught looking, and you got strikeout of Stroman swinging at a pitch out of the zone, and a strikeout looking by Sutton. The 0-1 to Ciancio. Outside. This count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. First career start for Schneider was at New Mexico back on the 21st of March. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strike to count. Cloudy day here. You can see the sun peeking out now from behind the clouds. We'll probably be in and out of clouds here throughout this ball game. Schneider went 4 1/3 in that ball game. His first start, as we mentioned, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 3 and struck out 1. It's a good New Mexico offense. Swing and a miss. He got him. Took a lot off of that one, and Ciancio kind of looking out. Did not expect that to come out of the hand. 2 down with the strikeout. 3rd strike of the ball game for Schneider. And I'll bring up Kyler Murphy. Murphy had the 2-run homer, which turned out to be the game winner on Friday night in front of the home crowd. He, of course, the Liberty High School graduate. Schneider struck out 6 at Sac State, 5 at Chicago State, so he's got a ways to go, but chance to strike out the side here after putting the leadoff man aboard Wells with the hit by pitch. He's going to throw over. Murphy, 203 on the year, 2 homers, 7 RBI. Murphy hitting .333, 1 for 3, with a cup 3 runs scored, 1 homer, 2 RBI in this series. Up high, ball 1. Pavlica shading to right for a pull. Quick throw over, and Wells back once again. Trying to keep Wells close, but Chase, as we mentioned, is yet to attempt a stolen base this year. The 1-0, the pitch, chop foul, 1-1. Well, Schneider, one of 5 WAC pitchers this season to have at least 4 conference victories. Repovich is in that category as well. A lot of similarities between these two guys. Best way to describe Schneider is to say he pitches kind of like Repovich does. That pitch on the corner for the strike. So both of them, Jack and Jake, Repovich that is, on that list with 4 conference victories. And Jack, the first GCU pitcher to pick up 3 victories in his first 4 career starts since Jake Repovich in 2015. The 1-2, up high, 2-2. Lopes have had some good lefties over the last few years. Andrew Naderer on the mound as a lefty for the Lopes. Ethan Ivanko, who's been battling back, trying to get back from an injury. Very good lefty, and of course Repovich, and now Schneider. The 2-2. Ground ball foul. Runner was off on that one. The aforementioned Ethan Ivanko running out and giving some baseballs to the umpire here. Ivanko had a great freshman campaign, but has been trying to battle back from arm injury. Hopefully the Lopes will get him back at some point. Now he went outside on that one, fouled off down the left field line. Cal State's 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Murphy taking some time, getting ready now. He's set to go. The pitch. Foul back again. So Kyler Murphy having a nice at-bat here. This is Jack's 7th consecutive Sunday conference start. hopper right to Mumper. Runner was going, so he's going to have to throw it over to first, but he slings it sidearm, and that is the inning. Well, the hit by pitch got Wells aboard, but strikeout, ground out to Mumper, and Seattle is done in the top of the second. No runs, no hits, no errors, one man left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Lopes lead it 2-0. Well, folks, Vinnie Murphy was named Western Athletic Conference Player of the Year for men's golf. Murphy led the conference in stroke average, won the individual title at the WAC Championships last weekend. Congrats to men's golf, and congrats to Vinnie Murphy. Lopes baseball trying to win a conference title of their own. Taking one more look at how the conference stacks up right now. Grand Canyon atop of that 17-3 record. The New Mexico State 13-4, as I mentioned. They got 3 games to make up. Bakersfield, Utah Valley, Chicago State, Sac State, Seattle. Right there, Seattle. That's the cutoff. You see the little arrow there showing you where the cutoff is for teams to make the WAC tourney. Seattle right there now, but only a half game up on UTRGV. They lose here today, and they drop down below the Vaqueros, who hold the advantage after winning that series, with Grand Canyon not able to play. If they finished right now, New Mexico State and Bakersfield would be the top 2 seeds and get that bye in the first round. Of course, the WAC tourney to be played out at Hohokam Stadium in Mesa, Arizona once again. That'd be great when the Lopes are eligible. Have the home field advantage, so to speak, out in Mesa. GCU, 2.5 games up on New Mexico State, and they are looking to cut their magic number to 3. Any combination of 4 wins by the Lopes plus losses by New Mexico State would give them the crown. Barnes Mumper, top of the order, Austin Bull. Having said that, it really doesn't look like Utah Valley is going to cooperate. Chopper to third. Lively's got it. The high hop. They'll throw over. In time, 1 pitch, 1 out. Barnes is retired to start the second. Utah Valley, we were hoping. We were all Wolverine fans. But New Mexico State beat them 24-1 in Game 1 and 16-6 in Game 2. They're up 5-0 in the bottom of the 5th in Game 3. So New Mexico State looking for the sweep. First pitch to Mumper in there for a strike on the inside corner. Mumper in the $196, 2 homers, 15 RBI for GCU. His 35th start of the year really solidified that infield, taking over the shortstop role. Lopes had tried Bull, started the season with Bull at short. He played well, but Mumper taking that role over. Austin able to move over to his second base role. Ground ball to short. Tough hop. Anderchuk gets it back, not in time. Well, Anderchuk took his time after he recovered it. It's a hot shot, but Mumper aboard. Mumper aboard on the E6. It was hit well, but you can see the way, sometimes you look at the fielders, you see the way Anderchuk kind of walked around behind second base. That's a play he knows he should make, ranging a bit to his left. Ball played him and unable to recover in time. So now Mumper aboard with Bull at the plate. Nice off-speed pitch by Moore. That's his best pitch, and we saw it right there. Austin continuing his hot hitting in this series. Had the base hit single up the middle, came around to score on the air by the second baseman, Perrin, who was trying to turn the double play. Murphy wants to have a word. That was a great, beautiful pitch for the strike, but might not have exactly been what he was looking for or what he called. So he hustled out there to have a word with his pitcher. Sac State all over Chicago State in Chicago. Back pick, the throw down, not nearly in time. Mumper just scampered back. Count goes to 1-1 strike. Bull was showing bunt there. So Sacramento State looking to win that series. Chicago State won Game 1 on Friday 6-2. Sac State won it 7-0 yesterday, and the Hornets up. There goes the runner. Hit and run, swing and a miss, but Murphy can't control getting the ball out of his glove, and Mumper's in there with a stolen base. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Austin Bull. Looked like a hit and run as Bully was going after it. Mumper gets his first stolen base. He's now 1 for 2 in steals this year. So Sac State up 10-3 in the, that actually might be over. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Boy, that is the first strikeout of the series for one of the top two hitters for GCU, the leadoff man and Tom LaRouge, the number 2 hole hitter. Thomas LaRouge at the plate, and that is not only Mark Mumper's first stolen base of the season, that's his first stolen base as a Lope. First strikeout of the ball game for Connor Moore. 2 down. See if the Lopes get a 2-out base knock and score another run. Another good breaking pitch in there for strike 1. Well, my live stats say that Sac State is up on Chicago State 10-3 in the top of the 10th. I'm assuming that's a final. Unless they're just being gracious and agreed to play an extra inning to give Chicago State a chance. Fouled off. 0-2 on LaRouge. LaRouge had a base hit single, was forced out on the front end of that attempted double play. Anderchuk got the ball to Perrin, and when Perrin tried to fire it over to first, he threw it wide. That error allowed Bull to score the first run of the ballgame. The pitch by Moore. Fouled straight back. Boy, Tommy was on that one. That is a final. I was right. 10-3. Sac State wins the series. 2-1. Bakersfield up on the Bears of Northern Colorado 4-1. Inside almost hit him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 4-1 in the bottom of the second. And Bakersfield trying to sweep that series. They won on Friday 6-0. Saturday they won 10-1. So they are looking for the sweep, and they're in line for it. New Mexico State in line for the sweep. Lopes trying to join the Hornets as a team that won a series 2-1. Moore spins around, and Mumper hustles back to the bag. Good speed on the base pass. The 1-2. Got him with an inside pitch, kind of turned him around, and Moore strikes out the last 2 of the inning. So he pitches around the air by the shortstop, Anderchuk. So for the Lopes in the second, no runs on no hits. There was 1 error and a man left on base. We go to the third, 2-0 GCU with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Founded on the belief that the entrepreneurial dream is an engine that drives innovation forward in a global marketplace, the Colangelo College of Business educates and develops values-driven business leaders. Our graduates exemplify the principles of servant leadership and entrepreneurship. GCU's strong Christian identity informs the education you receive, integrating our Christian values with the business curriculum. The college features more than 25 programs from the bachelor through the master's level, catering to traditional, evening, and online students. These programs serve a diverse set of aspiring business professionals who not only learn in the classroom, but gain real-world experience operating actual businesses. Our students also receive unique access to Jerry Colangelo's legendary experience, leadership, and connections throughout the business world. Find out more at gcu.edu/business.
Top of the third we go here. Brazil Lopes lead at 2-0. And it's the top of the order for Seattle. Anderchuk, Lively, and Struzma. Anderchuk, a base hit single, leading off the ball game. He got as far as third base, but was stranded there after Schneider was able to get the strikeout, the fly out, and the pop out to end the first inning. Lopes scored there 2 in the bottom of the first as well. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Anderchuk, 2 homers, 18 RBI on the season. And this is outside. 2-0. Griffin hitting .285. He's got 45 hits. Got 4 hits in the series, came in needing 9 to tie for the all-time hit leader in Seattle history since restarting the program 8 years ago. Should get it. He's got 5 to go now. Fouled back, 2 balls, and a couple of strikes. That one ripped down the left field line, lofted, hooking, and it's going to be a foul ball. Bounces about 10 feet in front of that wall. LaRue's giving chase, ran out of room. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Really turned on that inside pitch, but hooked it foul. Pitch misses low and inside. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2, and he walked him. So Ender took a board for the second time in the ball game, this time with the walk. Schneider's put a couple of guys on with the freebies. Hit the first batter he faced in the second inning, Wells, and now he walks Anderchuk here. Lively now at the plate. Lively took the first pitch he saw right back up the box for a base hit. Fastball inside corner for a strike. Lively was pulling back away from it, but that one's in there for a strike. 0-1 to count. Austin Lively, 350 on the season. Left-handed hitting freshman third baseman for Seattle. Throw over, and Anderchuk scampers back to the bag. Griffin 2 for 4 in stolen bases this season. Out of the stretch, the 0-1, and missed low. Okay. 1-1 to Lively. Good crowd out here at Brazel enjoying some Sunday afternoon baseball. The 1-1. Anderchuk not going anywhere. That one misses low and away. So now Schneider getting pinched a bit here, but also trying to be a little too cute. When we talked to Coach Stankiewicz, he said really the difference in the outings of Jake Repovich and Jake Wong is that Jake Repovich was really trusting his stuff and not afraid to throw the pitches called over the plate. The 2-1 could be 2. Bull back to Evans, the twin killing. Mumper to Bull to Evans, becoming a very prolific double play combination. And the leadoff walk is extinguished. You see the turn here, 2 down, and Struzman at the plate. Well, they don't call it the pitcher's best friend for nothing. Little 6-4-3 double play. Fastball misses inside, ball 1. Struzma came up to the plate in the first inning with runners on first and second. Tried to bunt on the first pitch, missed it, then was swinging away and struck out swinging on a 1-2 pitch. Missed outside, 2-0. But to finish that thought on the 2 Jakes, Repovich and Wong, Coach Stankiewicz said Repovich was rearing back and firing the pitches, not overthinking things and trusting his pitches. He said Wong was trying to get a little too nifty his last couple outings. In there for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike. You know, the different types of pitchers. Jake, the big, strong, power pitching right-hander, and Repovich going to use a little more trickery and move the ball around a bit. But they really want Wong to go after it. Down the right field line, slicing foul. Garrison Schwartz gives chase, but it gets out of play. So he's the guy they definitely want to just trust his pitches and challenge guys. And early in the season, when Jake Wong was so unhittable, he was really just going after guys. Firing it up there and saying, hey, if you can hit it, hit it. If you can't, then I'll get the strikeout. The fastball framed nicely by Barnes, but to no avail. Ruben Candelaria not going to give him that one. So another full count. Fouls it back. Still attacking a high pitch that would have been ball 4. And Struzma talking to himself as he gets back in there and gets ready to go, adjusting the batting glove. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Strike 3 on the outside corner. So Struzma strikes out for the second time. This time he's caught looking. 4th strikeout of the ball game for Jack Schneider, and that is the inning. He walks the first man, gets a 6-4-3 double play, and then the strikeout. No runs on no hits. There were no errors and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0 GCU with the lead. Well, congratulations to GCU softball for earning the 2017 WAC championship title alongside New Mexico State. For the second time in 4 years, the Lopes finished atop the Western Athletic Conference. Congratulations, softball co-champs of the 2017 Western Athletic Conference regular season. GCU baseball trying to do that exact same thing here and win for the second time in 4 years. Well, they're helped along, the Lopes, by some stellar defense. We talk about it all the time. Last night, Griffin Barnes came to Brazel thinking he was just going to back up the catcher, Josh Meyer. Josh was a little under the weather, so Josh gave way to Griffin Barnes, and Griffin Barnes turned in this gem of a defensive play. It was the top play on ESPN's Top 10. We'll take a look at it a couple times here for you. We'll actually hold that. Sorry, got my wires crossed. We'll hold that for next inning, and we'll show that to you. But Barnes had a phenomenal play that you've probably seen a couple times. I watched it about 10 times, I think, and every time I was like, I'll just watch it again. It was pretty amazing. Ian Evans, Garrison Schwartz, and Preston Pavlica. Breaking pitch in there for strike 1. Shot right back up the box, off the leg of Moore. Evans is going to be aboard, and boy, you could hear that one all the way up here, so they're going to maybe come out and take a quick look at Connor Moore. Home plate umpire walks out there, give him a little bit of time. Sounded like it hit, boy, right above the knee, it looked like. Maybe it caught the thigh there, which is probably the best possible place that it could hit you, but man. Yeah, right up there on the upper thigh area there. So, like I said, probably the best possible place you could get hit if there ever is a good place to get hit by a ball coming back off the bat. 60 feet 6 inches away. But by the time you throw and deliver and have your follow through, you're about 55 feet or less away from that batter. So Evans aboard for the second time. Reached on a fielder's choice the first time. Had the base hit single here to start the inning. Throw over, and that'll bring up Garrison Schwartz. Schwartz ground out to second. Is last time up, 0 for 1 in this one. Throw over, and back again for Evans. Evans 3 for 3 in stolen bases this season. The pitch. Missed outside, ball 1. Garrison hitting .292 on the year. 7 homers, 43 RBI. Leads the squad in that category, in both those categories. Throw over, and Evans back safely once again. Well, coming into this ball game, Garrison Schwartz was hitting .362 in conference play, and 4 of those 7 home runs were in the conference, 28 of the 43 RBI in the conference as well. Another throw over. They're really worried about Evans here with nobody out and a 2-0 lead for the Lopes in the bottom of the 3rd. Schwartz hits .265 off lefties, .306 this season off righties. Breaking pitch inside. Caught the corner, 1-1. Little timeout call there as Candelaria stepped out from behind the catcher. Now we're ready to go with a 1-1 count. Evans taking his lead. Ground ball. Ooh, off the glove of Moore. Might have been two had he not flagged it down. Able to recover and make the throw to first. It wasn't sharply hit, so Moore doing his best to get a glove on it. He did. That allows Evans to get to second. Schwartz retired. 1-3 on the putout, but a runner in scoring position with one out now for Preston Pavlica. Perrin had a good jump on it. Might have been two. Would have had to hustle to do it. But Moore, by way of grabbing it there, knocking it down, Evans allowed to reach second. Pavlica reached on a walk back in the first inning. First pitch is a fastball inside corner for a strike. Preston coming off, I was going to say arguably, but I'm not sure if it's even arguable, his best game of the season. 2 for 2 with a couple of walks, 2 runs, and 5 RBI. Big swing and a miss on that one. No balls and 2 strikes. Pavlica had the bases clearing triple. Lopes scored 5 in the first, 10 in the fourth, and 4 in the sixth. So 19 runs on the board last night, and you assume, they probably scored in every inning, but just 3 innings. Big crooked numbers, though, in each of those innings. The 0-2, checking the runner. Evans, a good-sized lead. Perrin trying to keep him close, but Ian even extends the lead. Ball gets away in the dirt. He's going to try for third. The throw is going to be late. So Evans takes the bag on the wild pitch. Murphy able to keep it in front, but Evans had that big lead and the big secondary lead. Once he saw that ball in the dirt, he was taken off. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. So now he gets in position where sac fly will get the job done here. A pass ball, a wild pitch, will get the job done as well. Infield is in. That one ripped to left. That might get past the left fielder. It does. A one-hopper off the wall. Evans scores easily. Pavlica on his horse. He'll cruise into second base with a double. And it's 3-0 GCU. Well, we talked about it. Pavlica just needed a little ground ball, maybe a sac fly, a wild pitch, and he just decided, I'll just bounce one off the wall here for a double. Picks up the RBI. Evans comes in to score, and the Lopes add to the lead. Where that pitch just stayed up, and Pavlica did not miss it. I'm bringing up Greg Sines. Sines drove in a run with a base hit single his last time up. Starts him off with a curveball inside, ball 1. Well, the fact that the way the Lopes are playing this season is fantastic to see him ending it this way down the stretch, but a little bittersweet because this is exactly how you want your team to be playing going into the playoffs. Unfortunately for GCU, there are no playoffs. That breaking pitch misses as well, 2-0. The Lopes will hang around Brazil and play the final 2 games in this stadium on May 9th and 10th. That's Tuesday, Wednesday against San Jose State. Then they're on the road to finish out the season at Utah Valley to conclude WAC play the 12th through the 14th, and then at UC Davis the 18th through the 20th to conclude the season. Fouled off, 2 balls and 1 strike. As we mentioned, that game on the 10th against San Jose State. That's a 2 p.m. start. We might have some inclement weather on Tuesday, so we'll see how that makes everything shake out. But that'll be the final game of the year at home for the Lopes. It'll be senior day. Pavlica got a huge lead and is going to steal third without a throw. I think Murphy wanted to try to make a throw, but probably good he dropped that ball because Pavlica got a massive jump and had that thing stolen off the pitcher, Connor Moore. Well, look at that jump. He is already halfway to third before the ball even leaves the pitcher's hand. Lopes continuing to apply the pressure, and They need to do so. Infield in once again. Walked him. Runners at the corners. We'll see now. They'll probably be in at the corners and try to turn 2 up the middle, I would imagine. But now Malice a chance to break this game open. It's a 3-0 GCU lead. Second time in the ball game that Greg Sines has been on board. And boy, what an offensive weapon he is. Lopes trying to get him in the games as many times as possible. Malice ground out to the pitchers last time up. Tried to check his swing, and he did. They're going to look down. He checked his swing. Ball missed. 1-0 the count to Malice. So senior day at 2 p.m. against San Jose State. And this is a very young squad. We've been saying it all year. One senior to honor. A.J. Franks got his degree last week, and he'll be honored at that ball game. The 1-0. Inside. 2-0. And A.J. will get the honor. Then the Lopes will go on the road. They'll practice a few more times at Brazil. And then once they're done for the year, the construction crews will come in and they'll start with the reconstruction. The 2-0 should get a good pitch to hit here. He does and grounds it foul. Already action in the pin now. Tyler Oldenburg, the sophomore lefty, throwing down in the bullpen as the Lopes pressuring here. Pavlica at third. Sines at first, already leading at 3-0 here. Malice a 2-1 count with 1 out. There goes the runner. They're going to make the throw down. Not in time. Sines steals the bag. Well, the Lopes saw something off of Connor Moore because they are very aggressive on the base paths. Greg Sines, not a prolific base stealer. Sines gets his first stolen base of the season. Couple guys in scoring position, and the infield comes in. That one hit foul and really got out ahead of that one. It's going to find the crowd over there. I think it hit anybody. One of the kids able to snag a souvenir. 3-ball, 2-strike count to Zach Malice. The 3-2. In the air, shallow, coming in, Hurd makes the grab, and nobody able to advance. Well, Malice got under that one, and there are 2 outs. The infield will be able to go back to normal depth. Not nearly deep enough, but a big swing, and you could see the center fielder Hurd. He wasn't quite sure because he took a couple steps back and then hustled in. We have seen the outfielders for Seattle get some really bad jumps on balls throughout this series. Not sure if it's the backdrop here into the stands or what, but that was a big swing. Sometimes that fools you. You see a big, long swing, and then the ball only goes about 150 feet. Griffin Barnes tried to check his swing, so we're going to miss strike 1. Well, I was a little too excited to talk about showing you Griffin's great catch last night. We'll wait and do it after this inning concludes, but Griffin, the top play on the ESPN Top 10, the 0-1. Good pitch, breaking pitch, strike 2. Barnes not even thinking he was going to play. Initially lineup card, Meyer was going to be in there, but a late scratch due to an illness. Griffin played well and is getting a chance to play again here today. Moore, the 0-2. Couple of guys in scoring position. Lopes need a knock. Little chopper to Perrin. Fields a high hop, fires to first, and the Lopes strand a couple as Barnes grounds out to end the inning. 3-0 Lopes lead it as we go to the 4th. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
3-0 GCU with the lead as we go to the fourth. The aforementioned Griffin Barnes with a fantastic juggling catch of a bunt attempt. We'll show it to you right here. We'll show it to you from a couple of different angles here. But it was one of the best plays any of us have ever seen. You see it here. Griffin just sticking with it, juggling the ball around, bouncing it around, and able to make the grab. Repovich, his starting pitcher, enjoying that. I talked to Rep before this game, and I said, what do you think of that catch? He said, never seen anything like it in my life. It was crazy, as you see Griff now coming out to take the warm-up tosses from Snyder. My favorite part of that is the way that Griff kind of acted like it was no big deal. Didn't even pop a smile, and Repovich kind of that smirk on his face like, oh, okay, that's how we're doing it? The top play on ESPN, one of the best juggling acts we've seen. Not sure if that gets him into the top 25 jugglers of all time. But some could say that was an Ofek Snur type of juggling attempt. Ofek Snur, of course, a 16-year-old Israeli who's the back-to-back juggler of the year. He and Griffin Barnes. Often mentioned in the same sentence. First pitch, ball one to Parent. Google him, Ofek Snur. Started juggling in April of 2011. 6 short years later, as that one is ripped foul, Snur was the back-to-back juggler of the year. His record, juggling 5 balls for 2 hours and 41 minutes. And he's got a really, really cool name. The 1-1 up high. 2-1. I personally didn't want to talk about Ofek Snur today, but everybody in the press box begged me to do it, so I did it. That might be a lie. The 2-1. Into left. Tommy coming in. Got a good read on that. Makes the grab. 1 out. I asked Coach Stankiewicz about that catch by Griffin Barnes as Dalton Hurdle come to the plate after the catch by Tom LaRouge. And I said, what'd you see from the bench there? And he said, well, we actually thought he reached out with his mask and hit it up with the mask, and you can't do that. You can't use the mask to kind of keep the ball up and in play. As that pitch is striking the outside corner. But he said, and I think that's why Donnie Harold came out to just ask a quick question afterwards. But now if you look at it again, he said, after we watched the replay so many times, said he kind of backhanded it with the forearm and the wrist to keep it alive. Popped up, shallow center field. So shallow that the second baseman Bull is going to call everybody off and make the grab. So maybe Schneider is beginning to settle down here. Gets the first 2. And that's the first inning that the leadoff man has not reached for Seattle. First 2 retired, Chase Wells. Chase Wells led off. The second was hit by a pitch. Goes inside, ball 1. But Coach Stankiewicz said, after we saw that replay a few times, just an amazing, amazing athleticism and hand-eye coordination to stay with that one. Big swing and a miss, 1-1. Up high, almost hit him. Tried to hold that lead arm out there and get hit by the pitch. Boy, Snyder in rhythm, working really quickly here. Missed with the fastball, 3-1. Well, the Lopes have the luxury. They've got Josh Meyer, Griffin Barnes, and Jared McDonald, 3 very solid catchers at their disposal. That one hit into shallow right center field. A quick 1, 2, 3 inning. 2 fly balls and a pop fly. And Jack Schneider settling into a bit of a rhythm. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 3-0 GCU. Well, folks, if you're visiting campus this summer, why not stay at the GCU Hotel? Featuring comfortable rooms, a resort-style pool, and the Canyon 49 Grill. It's a perfect place to stay when coming to GCU. Rooms start at $79 a night. Book a room today at gcuhotel.com. Hotel guests, get this. Hotel guests receive a discount on tee times at the GCU golf course. That's gcuhotel.com. And I know that there are quite a few folks that couldn't make it out to the ballgame viewing this on GCU TV. If anybody from the events department for GCU, I do believe we have to see if we can get Ofek Snur as a halftime entertainment at a home basketball game. That would bring everything full circle, and Griffin Barnes could deliver him the 5 balls that he could juggle. Is that not an event made in heaven? Yes, they could battle. We could show the video of Griffin, then Ofek could come out and do some juggling. I have no idea if Ofek is in massive demand, but he's the back-to-back juggler of the year, so I'd imagine he would be. He is only 16. Is he homeschooled, though? I mean, he's got to be on the juggling tour. I'm sure he's got a pretty locked-up slate, but I'm sure he'd come for GCU. Mumper, Bull, and LaRouge. First pitch in there for a strike to Mumper. We're in the bottom of the 4th, 3-0 GCU. It's just an idea. The way how good they are at booking those halftime guests, they probably already have a plan for next year, but it's just a thought. Ooh, that breaking pitch stayed up high. 1-1. Mumper reached on an error and stole his first base of his GCU career back in the 2nd. Chop foul. Is Taylor still working in that department? Where'd he go? He was up here. Taylor Griffin, the new daddy. He's probably sleeping somewhere. He's a new dad. He's like, this press box is the quietest place I've been in about 5 weeks. The 1-2. 2-2. The 2-2. Fouled off. Two count to Mumper. Fouled off again. So Mumper having a great at-bat here. 2-ball, 2-strike count. That last little chopper. Look at the snag by Bordas down at first base. Not only is Greg Bordas, the first base coach, man, snagging that one. Ooh, inside breaking pitch. Mumper didn't like it. And that is the first out. I've opened up a can of worms up here. We got people Googling Ofek Snur, and it is pretty impressive. He's got 7 balls. He's juggling here on a basketball court. That has to happen at GCU Arena next year. That has to happen. Top of the order, Austin Bull. That was the 3rd strikeout for Moore. That breaking pitch, tough to track, and he's almost extensively going with it right now. Two hopper to Perrin. Gloves it, makes sure he has it, fires it first. That'll bring up Tom LaRouge. Tommy a base hit single and was forced out. Struck out in the 2nd. Phoenix finest, the Firefighters. That's a good view right there. Chop foul. We see a lot of parents, and we have a few, and a lot of fans hanging out above those guys in the parking structure, but that's actually a better view right there. But I think you might have to be a firefighter to get that view. I'm not sure they're going to allow just anybody to climb up there with them. The 0-1. Missed inside 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-ball, 2-strike the count. Looked like LaRouge was trying to send a souvenir out to the fire department on that swing. The 1-2. Breaking pitch just missed inside. He was 2 steps toward the dugout. Wanted that call, but it stayed inside just a bit. Boy, we were told beforehand that that's his best pitch, that curveball, and we're seeing it. Having a little bit of trouble spotting it every time, but when he does, it's unhittable, the 2-2. And he comes back. Fastball fouls it back. I think that caught a little bit of Murphy. Kind of shaking his head, and so the home plate umpire, Ruben Candelario, is going to take some time, walk out, and have a few words with Connor Moore while Kyler Murphy shakes the cobwebs out after that one. The 2-2 with 2 outs. Chop foul once again. Well, Jack Schneider had a 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th. Moore working on a 1-2-3 here. It would be his first 1-2-3 inning. It was Schneider's first true 1-2-3 inning. In the 3rd, Jack walked the first batter but got the 6-4-3 double play, so he faced the minimum. The 2-2. Chopper right side. Perrin waits, gets the hop. Crow hop, throws low. Sutton has it, and that is the inning. So both pitchers trading 1-2-3 innings. We have completed 4, 3-0 GCU with the lead. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Hi, I'm JC. I'm a freshman here at Grand Canyon University. I'm majoring in Christian studies and minoring in psychology. The possibilities here at GCU are endless. There are so many resources for me to be successful. I want to be a pastor, so I've developed this program called Weekly Words. Basically, what we do is we go out to an awesome place in Phoenix and we film a 3 to 5 minute word. Coming down here to GCU and seeing everything that they were doing really encouraged me to take the gospel to a contemporary outlet. The Christian community here is modernized and relatable. This is a safe place spiritually for people to grow. I think GCU is preparing me for a world outside of that protected bubble that we put ourselves in. They really encourage the school spirit here. Games are absolutely insane. I count myself a Havoc, so I'm a little crazy. Havocs are the embodiment of everything a GCU student wants to be.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
3-0 GCU as we go to the 5th inning here. No runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 3 left on for Seattle. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors, and 5 left on for the Lopes. Bottom 3rd, Sutton, Ciancio, and Murphy due up against Schneider. Schneider has faced the minimum the last 2 innings. First pitch misses, ball 1. In the 3rd inning, Schneider got the leadoff walk, gave up the leadoff walk to Anderchuk, but got the 6-4-3 double play, and then struck out Struzma. In the 4th inning, that one hit very well and very deep, and that is going to make it a 3-1 ball game. Well, we saw the ball fly out to right last night. Sutton got all of that one, and it's a 3-1 ball game. Second homer of the year, 19th RBI of the year for Sean Sutton, and Seattle is on the board. And this is the fear you have in these ball games where you get a couple early and you can't keep adding on to that lead. Next thing you know, you got yourself a tight ball game, and Sutton brings the Redhawks to within 2. Ciancio at the plate. Ciancio hitting .231. First pitch misses, ball 1. We saw Oldenburg warming up in the bullpen for Seattle. He has taken a seat because Moore seemed to right himself and get a 1-2-3 inning in the 4th. Pop foul. Does Evans have room? Coming over. Ooh, runs in to the fence. Does he make the grab? He does. Oh, my. Ian Evans, we lost track of him down there. Made the grab. Hard to see from our angle in the press box. What a catch by Ian Evans for the first out of the inning. You see Evans here. Good view here. Makes the grab and runs into the fence. Hangs on to the ball. 1 down. Kyler Murphy at the plate. First pitch, a strike. Well, we talked about that defense. So good that even the first base coach, Greg Bordas, snagging the foul balls. Evans shows some defense there. That breaking pitch almost hit him. 1-1. Fans down there got a good view of that one. I was right in front of Stan Meyer and Nick O'Hay, I think, down there, right? The 1-1. Ooh, fastball inside, and Murphy fouls it back. I think the firefighters have come down there as well. They're off the truck and down by the little pitching inflatable down there. Two ball, two strike count to the number 9 hole hitter. Had a ground out to short his last time up. Boy, that was a big sweeping curveball that Schneider wanted that call. But inside, missed just a bit. There's the firefighters down there. Oh, we got all the illustrious fans down on that side. Fouled back. You had Nick and Stan Meyer and his wife down there, and then just to the right of them, I think I saw Pastor Tim down there as well. The 3-2. Once again, chop foul, staying alive. There's Ethan Ivanko delivering a couple baseballs to the home plate umpire. Talked about Ethan, number 12, the fantastic lefty. Had a great freshman year, but has been battling some arm trouble. And he walked him. Good at bat by Kyler Murphy. And now the tying run coming to the plate and the top of the order coming up. So this is where it gets a bit dicey, and Schneider's got a lockdown here. Kyler Murphy 3 for 5 in stolen bases, and now Anderchuk coming to the plate. It's 1 for 1. He's been on base twice. Anderchuk taking his time. Now he's in there and getting ready to go. Anderchuk out of British Columbia. First pitch in there for strike 1. Fouls it back, late on that one. The 0-2 fouls it back. Got Anderchuk, of course, from British Columbia. He's got that brace or the pad there, and if you look on the back of that, it's got the Seattle colors, but it looks like it's got a Canadian maple leaf on there as well. The 0-2 ground ball. Could be 2. Mumps will take it by himself, steps on the bag, fires across, and the second double play of the ball game helps to get Jack Schneider out of the 5th. Well, the leadoff solo shot by Sutton makes it a 3-1 ball game, but the pop out, the walk, and then the 6-3 double play, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-1 ball game, GCU with the lead. Well, folks, get the best gear to show off your Lope pride. Go to lopeshops.gcu.edu to find everything GCU, from the newest apparel to the coolest accessories. Use promo code GCUTV20. Get 20% off for being a GCU TV viewer. Let's paint the Valley purple. Lopes up. Now, we've been talking about the defense for GCU. Mark Mumper taking that ground ball. 6-3 double play. Stepped on the bag himself and fired it down to first. So the Lopes come up here in the bottom of the 5th. A 3-1 ball game. GCU got 2 in the first, 1 in the third, but the solo homer by Sutton, his second homer of the year, makes it a 3-1 ball game. We have some Lopes in their bullpen. And we've also got a few folks running down to the Seattle bullpen to get loose. Heart of the order, Ian Evans, Garrison Schwartz, Preston Pavlica due up for Grand Canyon. First pitch, fastball, strike 1 in there, and Connor Moore retired the Lopes in order in the 4th. Starting to find some rhythm. There you see A.J. Franks, the lone senior, walking around down there. A bit too early for him, more than likely. Hopefully Schneider can get him through a couple more innings. And there for a strike, so Evans down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Reached on a fielder's choice, scored in the first, base hit single, and scored in the third. Missed outside. Evans hitting .375 in the 2 games of this series. 3 for 8 with 4 runs and 6 RBI. 2-2. On the offensive outburst by the Lopes so good that when you look at the stat sheet for this series, Evans, even with those numbers, is 3/4 of the way down the line. In the air to center. Hurd coming in. It's diving away, and he's not going to get to it. Another base hit for Evans. He's been on base 3 times now in this ball game. 2 base hits. So leadoff man aboard once again for GCU. Just the second time they got the leadoff man aboard in the first. Actually, third time in the third, now in the fifth. Twice it's been Ian Evans as the leadoff man getting aboard. Garrison Schwartz, 0 for in this one. A couple of ground outs. 1 to the second baseman and 1 to the pitcher. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Evans taking a good-sized lead over there. Lopes have already stolen 3 bags. Inside and hit him. Well, that one got away from Connor Moore, and he kind of kicks the dirt in front of him, trying to establish that inside corner, and just got away. So the hit batter gives Schwartz the free pass on for the first time in this ball game. That'll bring up Preston Pavlica. Pavlica walked in the first inning, got as far as third, doubled in a run, drove in Evans in the third, and stole third, but was stranded there when the inning ended. Breaking pitch dropped in there for a strike. Delayed call. I thought it was good right off the bat, but took a little while. The Redhawks have a Tuesday matchup with University of Washington up in Seattle, then at Bakersfield. In the air to right. Going back pretty well. Going back, making the grab on the warning track. Evans is going to tag and go to third. Schwartz heads back to first. So Chase Wells able to make the grab out there on the warning track. Pavlica put a charge into it, but that's the first out of the inning. We got runners at the corners. So the long fly ball for the out. I saw Morgan have all kind of trouble out there in right field in game 1, and he's given way to Chase Wells. Greg Sines at the plate. He's been on base twice, and an RBI single his first time up, walked and stole a bag in the third inning. Well, Seattle's got Washington, then Bakersfield. They play Arizona State in Bannerwood Park. Will they get through? Anderchuk's got one play, fires to first. It's low, but scooped by Sutton. The run comes across, 4-1 GCU. Second RBI of the ball game for Greg Sines on the ground out. Schwartz takes second, and Evans comes in to score. Well, Anderchuk had to come across past second base behind it, and really would have been a very difficult even to try to pitch the ball over to the second baseman Parent. So he elected just to get the easy out, and he did. Malice is going to bunt. Drops one down. That's going to be a tough play, and they're just going to let it roll and pick it up. Bunt single by Zach Malice. Boy, he's done it a couple of times. Usually when they put a shift on, but he took him by surprise, and he got his first base hit of the ball game. Schwartz moves down to third. Now, we've seen Zach do it a couple times this year, and that'll bring up Griffin Barnes, but what a great bunt that was. Not a chance for anybody to get that one. So with 2 outs, runners at the corners, and Barnes at the plate. He had runners on his last time up and ground out to second. His first at bat, he ground out to third, so he's 0 for 2. Pitch off Seattle's schedule. Arizona State, a midweek matchup up at Bannerwood Ballpark. That's on the 16th, and then They finish off with Utah Valley, and you see the Redhawks, nothing they could do, and Lively just picks it up and makes sure that Schwartz doesn't get any ideas. Well, on their schedule, they have listed Seattle that they finish off at home against Utah Valley, but that Saturday game, it says to be announced. The location of that ball game. 1-0. 2-0. I'm not sure if they're not going to play at Bannerwood Ballpark the final game or what's going on there. But it says to be announced, the location of the final game of the year. And it could be their final game of the year if they don't play themselves in to the tournament. 3-0. They come in a half game up on UTRGV, but if this game holds, they'll be knotted with the Vaqueros on in the standings, I should say. And the Vaqueros own the tiebreak. A 3-0 on the outside corner, 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, Griffin's gonna get a good pitch here. There goes the runner. Ground ball left side, gonna get through. Schwartz comes in to score. 5-1 GCU. 2-out base knock and the RBI by Griffin Barnes. So Barnes just shoots it through the left side. Gary comes in to score, and mentioned I was a little bit worried as Mumper comes to the plate that the Lopes got the early lead and were going to be content, but Barnes there gets a 2-out base knock. Malice thought about trying to go first to third since he was running on the play, but Struzman was in there quickly. Mumper struck out looking his last time up. Takes a strike here. That was leading off the 4th inning. We are in the 5th. 5-1 GCU. The 0-1. Malice taking a big lead. They've already stolen 3 bases, the Lopes have, and that timeout was called by the catcher on that one. Count stays no balls and 1 strike. So the pitch doesn't matter. It would have been a ball 2, or ball 1, I should say. Griffin's got a good lead. Sutton playing behind him at first, and Malice trying to get a big lead out there at second. Moore staring him down the pitch. Outside. 1-1. Well, Mumper trying to get aboard here and flip the lineup. Tyler Oldenburg warming up down in the pen for Seattle. Lopes have won every WAC series this season, trying to keep that streak alive here. Some activity down in the bullpen for GCU now. Up high, off the glove, and back to the backstop. Everybody moves up. So Barnes down to second, and Malice down to third on the pass ball. So now 2-1 count to Mark Mumper. Boy, Mumper, a base knock here, and the Lopes could give themselves a bit of breathing room. Mumper, no hits in the series. Takes a breaking pitch in there for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 men on. Both in scoring position. Mumper looking for his first base hit. He's played stellar D. Choking up on the bat a bit here. The 2-2. Breaking pitch down the line. It's fair into the corner. Both runs are going to score. Mumper's got extra bases on his mind, and he'll cruise into second base with a 2-out, 2-run double. 7-1 GCU. So Mumper gets the job done with 2 outs, his 7th double of the season, and it is a 7-1 GCU lead. Mumper picks up RBI 16 and 17 in the top of the order, and that might be it for Connor Moore. Tyler Oldenburg has already started. He's standing by the gate now, and Donnie Harrell makes the call as he crosses the line. So Connor Moore not able to get out of the 5th inning. It's 4 2/3, and with the top of the order coming up, and it would be the 4th time through for Austin Bull to see Moore. He's going to go to number 22, Tyler Oldenburg. Oldenburg, the 5'11", 190-pound sophomore lefty out of Boise, Idaho. Played at Bishop Kelly High. Oldenburg, 3.82 ERA, a record of 2-1, does have 1 save. This is his 16th appearance. He's no starts on the season. Oldenburg, 37 2/3 innings, giving up 40 hits, 18 runs, 16 earned. He's walked 11, struck out 32. Opposition hitting .268 against Oldenburg. He has given up 8 extra base hits, 6 doubles, and 2 homers. So Mark Mumper getting his first base hit of the series. It's a double. Gets him his first couple RBI. He scored twice in this series. And he's out there at second base with the top of the order coming up. Lopes dropped a ball game on Friday night, which they did not think they played at or even near their best defensively and pitching-wise. Lost it 9-8 after tying it at 7-7. Had a chance, and then Seattle got that 2-run homer. It proved to be the game winner from their catcher, Kyler Murphy. That was in the 7th. Lopes couldn't catch up. Put one across in the 9th, but it wasn't enough, and they lost it 9-8. Just their 3rd loss in conference play. And then they came back and just pounded the ball all over the field. 19-0, they beat Seattle on Saturday. Lopes already with 9 hits in this ball game. 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 5 left on base. So Lopes with 7 runs across. They have now scored 34 runs in the series and 36 base hits. Trying to keep that 2.5 game edge over New Mexico State. New Mexico State up 6-0 at Utah Valley in the top of the 9th. Let me refresh the screen there. That might be a final. Bakersfield up 13-1 at home against UNC, looking to sweep that one. Sac State has already got the series at Chicago State, 10-3. And it is the top of the 9th. New Mexico State up 6-0. 7-1 here. Austin Bull at the plate. Bull 1 for 3. A base hit single and scored a run in the 1st. Struck out in the 2nd. Ground out in the 4th. So Bull, the switch hitter, all of his at-bats from the right side with Oldenburg, the lefty, replacing Moore, the lefty. First pitch, a breaking pitch, strike 1. For Oldenburg, this is his 2nd appearance. Came in on Friday night. Threw a couple of innings, walked a couple, gave up a couple hits, got 1 strikeout. Didn't let any Antelopes score in that outing, the 0-1. Chopper to 3rd. Lively. It plays him. He's going to try to tag the man. He didn't get him. And Lively smacking the ground. The E5 keeps the inning alive. Well, that one played him from the get-go. It wasn't that difficult of a play, but he wasn't sure whether he should come in on it, whether he should wait back on it. By the time it played the in-between hop, no chance of him. The only play he could get at that time was to try to tag Mumper. Aggressive base running by Mark with the ball in front of him. Now you got runners at the corners. Bull on with the E5. See if Austin tries to run it. Lopes stole 3 off of Moore. LaRouge, 1 for 3. A little bunt single and then a strikeout and a ground out. Bull getting a good lead. They're going to throw over to keep him close, and that almost handcuffed Sutton. Had to catch it with 2 hands below the waist. GCU, we mentioned 2 more games here at Brazel, Tuesday and Wednesday, set right now for 7 o'clock Tuesday, 2 o'clock Wednesday. That'll be senior day. First pitch to LaRouge, goes after it and fouls it off. Tom LaRouge, the 9th hitter of the inning. Just the 2nd to face Oldenburg. Lopes had swept every WAC opponent until Friday night. The 0-1, the throw over. Every WAC opponent at home, I should say. Started off with a sweep of Bakersfield, then a sweep of Northern Colorado. Went up and took the series 2-1 at Sac State. Had to win on Sunday to get it done, and they did. 0-1, another throw over. They're thinking Bull might run. Then at Chicago State, lost game 1, but came back to win the next 2. Then the sweep at home against UTRGV, the sweep on the road against New Mexico State. Loss on Friday, win on Saturday. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Might have got a piece of it. Foul tipped it into the mitt. No balls and 2 strikes now to Tom LaRouge. So Lopes looking to give themselves a chance to win every series. It's looking good so far, but we still got innings to play here. And they'll be up at Utah Valley next week, and Utah Valley coming off just a thumping at the hands of New Mexico State. The 0-2. Good jump. Ground ball to short. Handerchuk's got it. Fires in time to get the speedy Tom LaRouge, and that is the inning. But 9 come to the plate for GCU. And Grand Canyon gets 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and a couple left on base. We have completed 5. 7-1 GCU. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
Grand Canyon University's newly remodeled golf course is thriving in the heart of Phoenix, featuring over 7,200 yards of expansive tees and tree-lined fairways, signature par 3s, greenside bunkers, premium greens, and a brand new clubhouse and restaurant. Experience a University Championship golf course this summer with great rates as low as $15 available now. Book your tee times at gcugolf.com.
Finding the right college isn't always simple. The choices I make today affect where I'll be tomorrow. That's why I chose Grand Canyon University. Here I'm working toward a greater purpose and a place that feels like home. With scholarships to help me earn my degree, I can graduate in less than 4 years. By attending GCU, Arizona's premier private Christian university, I know I'm not just making the right choice, I'm making the smart choice.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
Beautiful day at the ballpark here at Brazos Stadium, and the Lopes lead at 7-1. GCU giving the fans what they want. 72 degrees and a light breeze blowing here at Brazil. About 11 miles an hour to the south-southwest. Jack Schneider back on the bump, and he will face 2, 3, and 4 of the Seattle lineup. Lopes got 2 in the first, 1 in the third, and 4 in the fifth. First pitch from Schneider misses outside, ball 1. GCU dominating the last 2 games. Fouled off 19-0 in the ballgame last night. 7-1 here through 5. So for GCU, outscoring Seattle 26-1 over the last 12 innings. Fouled off. And it's not that they're trying to keep pace with New Mexico State. They're trying to keep New Mexico State at bay. New Mexico State trailing the Lopes by 2.5 games. New Mexico State in great shape to be the top team in the WAC tournament since the Lopes can't play. But GCU wants to claim their second regular season WAC title in 4 years. The 1-2 to Lively. Fouled off again. GCU needing a combination of 4 wins combined with any losses by New Mexico State, and they are the WAC champs. They could drop it to 3 with a win here. The 1-2 up high. 2-2. Well, as we mentioned, Utah Valley not helping out the Lopes here as New Mexico State's up 6-0, and they have dominated that series. Going in the air to center. Pavlika starts in, now ranges over toward left and makes the grab. So Lively now 1 for 3 after that at bat, and it'll bring up Aaron Struzma. Struzma has struggled, to say the least, against Schneider. Struck out swinging in the first with runners at first and second and nobody out. That was a huge turning point in this ball game because Griffin Anderchuk singled to start the ball game. Austin Lively shot one right back up the box on the first pitch he saw. The strikeout helped Schneider get situated in one pitch and a fly ball to right. Garrison Schwartz makes the grab, and there's 2 up and 2 down. But back in that first inning, it looked like Seattle was a little ticked about giving up the 19-0 7-inning loss. Came out on fire. The strikeout, the flyout, and the pop-out in the first inning. Schneider was out of it. And Jack has pitched himself out of a couple of jams every now and again, but boy, pitching a gem here. Curtis Perrin at the plate. Perrin 0 for 2. Fouls it off. Perrin a fly out to right and a fly out to left. See if we can get him to fly out to center. Be a lot of symmetry in my scorebook if he were to do that. Although it'd say 978. It should say 987 or 789. Well, he hit him, so that doesn't work out for anybody. Perrin down at first. That's the second guy he's hit. He's walked a couple as well. I'm bringing up Dalton Hurd. Hurd a pop out to Evans at first and a pop out to the second baseman, Austin Bull. First pitch in there for strike 1. Well, Hurd gave up on it. Thought I was going to break in tight, and it just straightened out. Like he was thinking slider, and that was just a fastball inside. It's a final. New Mexico State wins 6-0 and sweeps at Utah Valley. In the dirt, blocked by Barnes, and no chance for Perrin to advance. So New Mexico State now just back 2 games on GCU. The 1-1. Back pick, the throw. Nice defensive snag there by Evans on the one hopper. 2 balls, 1 strike to Dalton Hurd. We are in the 6th, 7-1 GCU. In there for a strike, 2-2. When I said that New Mexico State won that series and they thumped Utah Valley, I mean, no offense to Utah Valley, but that's 46-7. They outscored them over 3 games. That's right. Today was the nail biter. Little chopper. Bulls got it. Over to first. That's the inning. So every time Schneider puts somebody aboard with the walk or the hit batter, he gets out of it. Only run to come across the solo homer by Sean Sutton for Seattle. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left on base in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 7-1 GCU with the lead. Spend summer 2017 working towards your future career by investing in yourself with the Career Impact Center's job and internship opportunities. Find your own career-making opportunity today at gcu.edu/career services. That's gcu.edu/career services. Oldenburg back on the hill here. He came on in relief in the 5th inning. 9 batters came to the plate for the Lopes in that 5th inning. And GCU was able to score 4 runs and make it a 7-1 ball game. We head to the bottom of the 6th, and it'll be Evans, Schwartz, and Pavlica, the same guys that led off last inning. GCU 7 runs on 9 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base. So Sac State has already won 10-3 at Chicago State to win that series 2-1. New Mexico State has already won at Utah Valley to win that series 3-0. Looks like Bakersfield is in pretty good shape, up 14-1 at home against Northern Colorado. That would give Bakersfield a sweep as well at home. In the air to right, hit pretty well. Going back, Wells looks up, gone. Evans wastes no time. First time up in this ball game against Oldenburg. The solo shot makes it 8-1. Ian Evans catching fire when the Lopes need him to be on fire. Boy, this pitch, he just shot it out of the park to right, and that brings up Garrison Schwartz. So Evans now, gosh, that's his fifth homer. 2 behind the man at the plate now, who leads the team with 7. First pitch in there, a strike. So Evans now gets his first home run of this series, but picks up another RBI, and he's got 7 in the series. That one ripped to right, hit pretty well. Wells going back, looks up, off the wall. Missed going back-to-back by a couple of feet. Trying to stretch it to a double. The throw not in time, but he slid past the bag, and they tag him out. Well, that slide, he just skidded right past the bag, had the double, and then was unable to get back to the bag. So Gary, boy, he missed it by about 1.5 feet. He's running hard. Just maybe started to slide a little bit late. Didn't go right into the bag, and Anderchuk right there, and Gary with the smile on his face. Almost had the back-to-back home runs off Oldenburg, so he's not fooling anybody. That'll bring up Preston Pavlica. See exactly how that one is scored, but boy, he was in there safe at second, but he went past the bag. But it was still continuation of the same play. The 0-1. Breaking pitch in there for a strike, 0-2 on Pavlica. So Credit with the double, and then tagged out at second base. Swing and a miss, foul tipped into the mitt. Murphy held on to it. And then tagged out 6 unassisted. Pavlica strikes out swinging, and now 2 quick outs. That'll bring up Greg Sines. Boy, that ball just flying out to right field the last couple of nights. That pitch in there for a strike. And Evans took the pitch on the outer half and just shot it out to right. Gary turned on one and missed a home run by about 2 or 3 feet. The 0-1. Breaking pitch. 1-1. Sines driven in a couple runs here. A single in the first produced a run. A ground out in the 5th produced a run. Two balls and 1 strike. Sines hitting .310 on the year. 1 for 2 today, but those 2 RBIs also walked. Ground ball up the middle. It'll get through for a 2-out base knock. Sines on base for the 3rd time today. His 2nd base hit of the day. So Greg just continues to hit. His only problem is he can't find anywhere to play defensively, and they're stuck using him as a DH. But the good news for GCU is you see Sines shoot that one back up the middle is also kind of the bad news. When Sines is out of the lineup, you sit a guy who's hitting .310, but typically you either have to sit Malice or Wyatt, and Wyatt's hitting .310 himself. Throw over and Sines dives back. Greg stole the bag back in the 3rd. That was all of Connor Moore. Malice at the plate. Zach had the bunt single and came around and scored the 6th run of the ball game. Oh, and missed inside and high. 1-0. Looks like they got Wolf down there warming up in the pen. Foul back and out of play. Zach Wolf, the closer, starting to throw in the bottom of the 6th here. And Wolf, seemingly the best pitcher that Donnie Harrell's got left down there in the pen, so maybe he's just thinking he's going to have to go to him. In there for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strike to count to Malice. Zach getting .274 on the year, 2 homers, 17 RBI. Malice got a homer in the ball game yesterday. Bullpen quiet for GCU. Throw over. Signs. GCU picking up a couple of hits, 3 hits in this inning, puts them to 12 on the day, and it's their 11th consecutive WAC game with double-digit hits. The 1-2 just taps it back to Oldenburg, spins, throws, and that is the inning. The 1-3 on the putout, but the solo homer gets another run on the board. That was Ian Evans that got the solo shot to lead off the inning. 8-1 GCU as we go to the 7th. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
I'm Bethany. I'm a junior at GCU, studying Christian studies with a minor in psychology. Really what made me fall in love with GCU was the ministry aspect that they have here. I love all of the different community service opportunities that there are here. Students are making a huge impact on the Valley just through painting the Valley purple. It really means a lot to people in Phoenix to hear that somebody's from GCU. It almost gives you like credentials because they know that you're a good kid and that you're gonna go far. I have the privilege of bringing 7th and 8th grade students onto campus every week. I get to present to them a college readiness program. It honestly makes a huge difference in so many of their lives. I also am part of a mentorship program, so I am a mentor for a girl here in Phoenix. I get to walk her through life just like people are walking me through life. I definitely think GCU is preparing me for my future and teaching students and being a difference maker in the lives of other people.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu.
The grounds crew getting the field all ready to go here as we head to the 7th. 8-1 GCU. Day is done for Jack Schneider. Schneider with 6 complete gives way to the only senior on the squad, A.J. Franks. Franks, of course, will be honored on Wednesday in that Senior Day ball game. The 6'2" senior at Anaheim, California, Kennedy High School, and Santa Ana College. A.J., 2.61 ERA, a record of 4-0. This is his 29th appearance. Does have 1 save. In 48 1/3, 46 hits, 20 runs, 14 earned. He's walked 7, struck out 29. Opposition in 256. If this holds, Jack Schneider will have the most wins without a loss in WAC play at 5-0. Second place, you may ask? A.J. Franks at 4-0. So that would be a combined 9-0. Math can be easy. First pitch. Wells, a chopper. Mumper's going to have to wait on it. Fires quickly and gets his man by a couple of steps. Boy, Mumper's got that sidearm throw down and puts a lot of sauce on the ball. Wells retired. So economy of effort there for A.J. Franks. 1 pitch, 1 out. Mumper wisely waiting on it. Throwing a strike to Evans. Sean Sutton, last time he was up, he ripped one over the wall in right field for a solo shot. Only run of the ball game for Seattle. First pitch by A.J. in there for strike 1. Well, A.J. Franks has been huge for GCU, to say the least, the last couple of years. On the outside corner, another strike. And Griffin Barnes with a great little frame on that one. But A.J. since coming over, I mean, if you could get the coaching staff to admit it, he's been the guy they trust the most the last 2 years out of the bullpen. Ground ball to third. Ooh, nifty play there by Malice. That one got on him in a hurry. Almost reached behind himself to snag that one on a weird hop. 2 up, 2 down. Both the ground balls to the left side. Boy, that ball got on him in a hurry and skipped. Max Modeste going to come in and pinch hit. So Ciancio is going to take a seat. Max Modeste comes up to pinch hit. Max Modeste had a pinch hit Friday and struck out on a pitch that he thought was a ball 4. Probably was, but he was called out. First pitch in there for a strike from A.J. Franks. Franks, what do we say? This is his 29th appearance here this season in his senior campaign. To left. Tough play for LaRouge. Going back on the warning track. Oh, he lost it. Off his glove. Looked like he had it. Had to move over to left, and it just, I don't know if he just missed it or what. The ball bounces over, and LaRouge unhappy with himself. Oh, man. Looked like he had room over there. Yeah, I just misjudged it. So LaRouge, the E7, and Modeste, the pinch hitter, is on second. So Modeste now at second. Kyler Murphy at the plate. A.J. Franks got into 24 games last year. 29 appearances already this year. Going to have to work to one more batter in this inning. First pitch up high, ball one to Kyler Murphy. Murphy ground out to short in the second. Reached on a walk in the fifth, was the front end of a 6-3 double play. Right back to A.J. Tosses the underhand to Ian Evans, and so the error by LaRouge amounts to a little more than a scorer's in the scorebook there. 8-1. The Lopes get through the top of the seventh here. No runs, no hits, one error, and one man left on base. Stretch time here at Brazel. PA announcer Shannon Kelly going to lead the fans in a little take me out to the ball game. We'll let you listen in, but we also got to tell you, the World Hip Hop Dance Championship is coming to Phoenix. Good grief, really? More than 4,000 of the world's best dancers from over 50 countries will come together to compete this week. It's a week-long event. It all comes together for the championship finals on August 12th at GCU Arena. Tickets are on sale now. GCUarena.com. That's August 12th. 4,000 of the world's best dancers from over 50 countries. That is the World Hip Hop Dance Championships. 8-1 GCU as we go to the bottom of the seventh. GCU could technically walk this off if they could get 3 on the board here. New pitcher on the mound. Donnie Harrell does not want that to happen. It's Zach Wolf on the mound, the closer for this squad. Wolf, the sophomore, 5'8", 180 out of Dana Hills, California, and Dana Hills High. Zach, a 5.74 ERA, a record of 0-7. This is his 22nd appearance. He did get 1 start on the year. But he's got 4 saves. In 42 1/3, he's given up 50 hits, 28 runs, 27 earned. He's walked 19 and struck out 37. Opposition in 3-0-1 against Wolf. So scuffling a bit in his sophomore season. He's unhittable. His freshman campaign, when he came out of the bullpen, it was pretty much over. So Wolf, the third pitcher of the ball game for this Seattle U squad. Moore got the start, went 4 2/3, tagged for 7 runs, all earned through 96 pitches, and faced 27 batters. Oldenburg came in through 1 1/3, gave up 1 run. That was a solo shot by Ian Evans. Faced 7 batters. Now Wolf on. 8-9-1. Barnes, Mumper, and Bull. 4th time up for Barnes and Mumper. Up high, ball 1. Barnes 1 for 3. RBI single and scored a run in the 5th. Ground out a couple times. Once to third and once to second. That one ripped down the line, but hooking foul. That'll get over. A little overhang there in the bullpen. Mick Voroff starting to loosen up a bit in the bullpen. Voroff has not seen any action in this series. The 1-1 fouled off right side. One's going to get out of play, 1 and 2. And Voroff, of course, hails from the Pacific Northwest. You see him number 1 there warming up. Sammamish, Washington. He was a guy that kind of in the backyard of Seattle and Nobody wanted him. The Lopes came up to play Seattle a couple years back. The 1-2. Ripped down the line. Will it stay fair? Nope. On top of that overhang. Nathan Choate, the pitching coach at the time, got a call from a scout and said, hey, you might want to check this kid out. So in between games, they went over to his high school. He threw a little bullpen side, and they said, yeah, we'll take you. And he said, I'll go. There might have been more to it than that, but that's the gist of it. The 1-2. Up high, 2-2. You always wonder when a guy like that gets away from a team right in his hometown, kind of like Kyler Murphy playing at Liberty and then going up to Seattle. Just kind of the need of the team at the time. Ground ball to third. Lively gets the big hop. Sets himself. Throws for the first out. So Barnes retired for the third time out of 4 plate appearances. That'll bring up Mark Mumper. Well, if you watch this Seattle U team play defense, and we're trying to figure it out up here, they seem a little out of sorts. The way the ball's hopping, not getting themselves into position to field, even the throws over there. Sutton's had to do a lot of work stretching and getting balls down low and in the dirt at first base, and just seemed to be a bit out of sorts. And big swing and a miss. Mumper going for the downs, comes up empty, and we're kind of wondering if it's the fact that they play on that turf, that field turf is sweeping all the schools up in the Pacific Northwest and in the Midwest, and it definitely plays differently than regular grass and dirt, 1-1. The way they've begun to make that field turf, it plays a lot closer to the natural grass, but still, it's a synthetic turf, so very rare unless it hits one of those seams, because there are seams in the dirt. If they hits one of those seams, you'll get a weird hop, and we've seen that a couple times. But most of the time, you're going to get the nice, easy hops, and going to be able to judge them. If you play a lot of your games on that type of turf, it might be difficult at times at different ballparks. The 2-1 pitch to Mumper. In the air to right. Wells coming over toward the line. Still coming over toward the line. Makes the catch in fair territory. 2 outs. So Wolf coming in, getting the job done, and now Austin Bull. 5th time Bulls come up to the plate. He's 1 for 4. Singleton scored in the first, struck out in the second, ground out to the second baseman Perrin in the 4th, reached on an error in the 5th. First time he gets to bat from the left side. Pitch in there for strike 1. Bull hitting 327 from the left side, 367, or excuse me, 327 from the right side, 367 from the left side coming into this ball game. His one lone career homer was from the left side, came on Friday night. As I mentioned then, the coaching staff said as Bull continues to grow and continues to get at bats and work on his hitting. He's already a fabulous hitter, but they expect that he is the type of kid, he'll develop power as he gets a little bit older. And boy, he scorched that 3-run homer to right on Friday night. Brought the Lopes even, but Seattle was able to answer with a 2-run homer of their own and win the ball game. Swing and a miss. So Wolf comes in and does the job, trying to give a little bit of a lift here to Seattle. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've completed 7, 8-1 GCU. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
At GCU, earning your degree online doesn't have to be without the college experience. To find your purpose, it takes support from those around you. GCU's leadership offers over 3 decades of experience in delivering real-world degree programs online. GCU's online class size averages less than 17 students with full-time faculty. Find your purpose online at Grand Canyon University. Call us today at 855-428-7692.
Hey Phoenix, it's Thunder Dan Marley, head coach at Grand Canyon University. Coming to GCU was a great move for me. Join Antelope Nation by enrolling as an evening student at our beautiful campus in the heart of Phoenix. Earn your bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree to take your career to the next level. Engage with industry expert instructors in small classroom settings where you can get the support you need to excel. Scholarships available. See you on campus. Go Lopes.
Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu/e.
A.J. Franks back on the bump here to pitch the 8th. It looks like Coach Stankiewicz wants to go 7-8 with A.J. and then bring in Mick Vorhoff. He'll face the top of the order. Anderchuk, Lively, and Struzma. Trying to get a clarification on where that final game of the year is going to be for Seattle. There's something else going on in Bannerwood Ballpark, which technically isn't theirs. That's where they play, though. Chopper to third. Gloved. And the out. Easy play there for Malice. One pitch and one out. That'll bring up Austin Lively. And right now, they still don't have a location for that. I agree with Josh Hauser up here. Suggested Safeco. Might look a little empty based on what typical D1 programs get for attendance in Safeco, but it would be a fun place to play. And then for a strike. And it would be nice to see a good team play in there for once as a home game. Oh, sorry, that was just a shot for our Seattle fans. The 0-1. Line drive. Caught by Mumper. Yeah, no, they have great teams there with the visitors, but they just struggle with the home team. Well, you know what's interesting, and I say that just because Josh Hauser, the assistant communications director for us here, is from that area, and that's his favorite team. And now Coach Stankiewicz is going to pull A.J. Franks out here and going to bring in Vorhoff to throw to Struzma. Supposed to letting him finish it off here, and A.J. all smiles. Going to pull him out here in front of the home crowd, the bigger crowd. It's going to be senior day on Wednesday, but might be the last time we see A.J. throw here at Brazel, but it might not. So Coach Stankiewicz wants to make sure he pulls him out in front of the crowd here and gets a round of applause, and Mick Vorhoff on in relief now. And A.J. did what A.J.'s been doing ever since he got here. Came out and pitched great in relief. Inning and 2/3 for A.J. And he faced 6 batters through 11 pitches, 5 first pitch strikes. And what an outing there, coming behind Jack Schneider, who gave up 3 hits and just 1 earned run, a couple of walks and 4 strikeouts, faced 23 batters. So Vorhoff on in relief here with 2 outs in the 8th. I'll make that point I was going to make about Seattle Mariners and Seattle U in just a minute, because it's a fantastic point, if I do say so myself. Mick Vorhoff, 3.96 ERA, a record of 2-3. He's got 4 saves on the season. He leads everybody else. Josh Andrews has a save, and A.J. Franks has a save. So for Mick, 25 innings, 27 hits, 13 runs, 11 earned. He's walked 7 and struck out 23. Opposition inning 273 against Mick Vorhoff. Where's number 1? The 6'1" righty out of Sammamish, Washington, went to East Lake High. The point I was going to make is, you know, Seattle U lost their top 2 pitchers this year, Skubal and Meservy, 2 lefties that a lot of people project to pitch at the next level, and the Mariners are doing kind of the same thing. They have really nobody who was supposed to be one of their starters this year still pitching. Everybody's on the DL. From King Felix to Paxton to, who are the other guys? Iwakuma. So I don't know what's going on up in that Pacific Northwest, but the Arms having trouble. Struzma with 2 outs in the 8th. First pitch, ball 1 inside. Struzma having a tough time. Struck out swinging, struck out looking, and flew out to right. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. Yes, that is a good point. I was just reminded that Oregon State seems to be having no trouble with anything. They're pitching, they're hitting, they're fielding as they are rolling. But maybe it's the state of Washington that's having the issues. The 1-1. Ground ball left side. Hops over Malice into left field for a 2-out base knock. Well, that was one that was sizzled in that 5.5 hole. From the lefties, we see him kind of just shoot him through the 5.5 hole. That one, Malice ranged over, just couldn't make the sweep and snag it. Curtis Perrin at the plate now. Perrin was hit by a pitch his last time up. Flew out to right and flew out to left. Strike on the outside corner. Swing and a miss, quickly ahead. The junior out of East Lake High. In 2015, he had 5 saves. Last year, 3 saves. He's got 4 here. That's, of course, not a save situation. Swing and a miss. Made quick work out of Curtis Perrin. And that will be the top of the frame. So for Seattle, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and a man left on base. Voroff comes in, gives up the base hit single, then strikes out the second batter he faces. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. LaRouge, Evans, and Schwartz due up. A new pitcher coming in. We'll tell you about him in just a minute. 8-1 GCU with the lead. Stay cool this summer with iced coffee, tea, and smoothies from the Grand Canyon Beverage Company. Open weekdays this summer in the Student Union and at Canyon 49. Grand Canyon Beverage Company. GCU all over Seattle. Last night, they jumped ahead 2-0 in the first here today. Added a run in the third, made it 3-0. A solo homer by Sutton in the 5th made it a 3-1 ball game. The Lopes answer with 4 in the bottom of the frame and 1 in the 6th. Lead it 8-1. They've done it on 12 hits. They've also left 8 on base. Austin Hansen, the redshirt junior, 6'2" right-hander. He comes on now, the 4th pitcher of the ball game. So Zach Wolf just in there to get a little more work, it seems. And Hansen will be your new pitcher here for the Redhawks. LaRouge, Evans, and Schwartz. Hansen, an 8.8 ERA, a record of 0-2. This is his 12th appearance, all out of the bullpen. In 15 1/3, he's given up 15 hits, 17 runs. 15 of those 17 were earned. He has walked 9 and struck out 18, opposition hitting .250 against him. So Tom LaRouge will lead off, hitting .354 on the year. He's hitting .409 as a leadoff man. He's 1 for 4 in this one. Singled in the first, strikeout, ground out, ground out. This is his 5th plate appearance of the ball game. Tried to check his swing, went around, strike 1. Snyder in line to get another win. Jack would go to 5-0, fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, New Mexico State completed the sweep 6-0 at Utah Valley. Sac State won the series 2-1 with the 10-3 victory at Chicago State. Had to come back and win the last 2 after losing game 1 on Friday night. Foul back. And right now up in Bakersfield, Northern Colorado, trying to keep this from being a run rule ball game there in the top of the 6th. It's 14-3 Bakersfield. They scored 4 in the first, 2 in the second, and 8 in the 4th, did the Roadrunners. That one in the dirt, bounces away. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Tom LaRouge. Hansen pitching from the stretch with nobody on. Just got a piece of it, did LaRouge, to stay alive. See that quite a bit. These relievers, even when they come in to start an inning, will just pitch out of the stretch, not go into the windup. Hansen's doing it here. The 1-2. 2-2. The 2-2 from Austin Hansen. In the air to left center field. Hit pretty well. Coming over, making the grab. The left fielder, Struzman, cutting in front of Hurd. I was a little worried there. We might have a collision, but Struzman cuts him off and makes the grab. Boy, Hurd was coming on in a hurry and peeled off at the last minute and wisely did so. So LaRouge flies out to left. Ian Evans at the plate. Evans having a day, you could say. Having a series once again. Coming off a great series. Breaking pitch, missed inside, ball one. Evans, the reigning whack hitter of the week. Ian's 3 for 4. He has scored every time he's gotten aboard. That's 4 runs. He's also got an RBI, the solo homer. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first and scored the second run of the ball game. Singled in the third and scored the third run of the ball game. Singled in the fifth and scored the fourth run of the ball game. And did a solo homer in the sixth for the 8th run of the ball game. He's accounted for half the run production on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Three-one count now to Evans. Evans now 6 for 12 on the series with 8 runs scored and 7 RBI. And he walks, so he's aboard for the 5th time in as many plate appearances. That'll bring up Garrison Schwartz. Garrison, a ground out to second, a ground out to the pitcher. Was hit by a pitch and scored the 5th run of the ball game in the 5th inning, and then doubled off the wall right after Evans hit a homer over that same right field wall, but then slid past the bag and was tagged out. It looked like on that slide that what Gary was doing was he knew the tag was coming. It was played well out there in right field by Wells and got the ball back in a hurry. So Gary, it looked like at the last minute, tried to slide toward the infield side of the bag, but didn't try to reach back for it. His foot hit the bag and slid off and couldn't hang on. One ball, one strike. Evans with the lead at first. Lopes have already stolen 3. In the dirt, blocked nicely by Murphy. 2 balls and 1 strike. So now, Lopes are up by 7. So, I mean, they could do something here if they wanted with 1 out, get the runner going to try to stay out of the double play. Evans takes his lead. Good lead for Ian. Not going. Chopper. Going to get past the second baseman, Perrin. Evans is going to stop at second as Hurd hurries it back into the infield. So after the 1-out walk, a base hit single, second hit of the ball game for Garrison Schwartz. Runners at first and second, Preston Pavlica. Lopes had a couple walk-off victories at home against UTRGV. This could be a walk-off here with a 3-run homer, making 11-1 ball game in the 8th. Just chopping it right through, up the middle. Perrin couldn't get to it. Pavlik at the plate. Breaking pitch. Misses outside, ball 1. Preston hitting .282 on the year. It's 1 for 3 in this ball game. Walked in the first inning and was stranded at third. Doubled in a run in the third and then stole third base, but was stranded there again. Flew out to right and struck out. Signs on deck. Popped up. Sutton's got room, it looks like. Navigates his way on board. Now the ball just takes off. Pushed over. It looked like Benny had it measured, and it hits the top of the fence there and bounced out. Boy, the way it was going, it looked like he had room. You heard people saying got room, but the wind just kind of pushed it out. Almost hit our cameraman down there at first base. Aaron Gina almost got knocked off the perch down there. Is he okay? He's okay. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Boy, that just kept pushing and pushing, and Aaron ducking out of the way and Sutton running out of room. The 2-1. 3-1. Well, nobody warming up in the pen, so it is up to Austin Hanson. The 3-1. In there for a strike, 3-2. So now with 1 out, imagine you'll see the runners going here. Andy Stankiewicz going through the signs down there at third base. The skipper coaching third base for the first time in his 6 years here at GCU. First time all season. He's coached at times when guys have been out of town on family leave and issues. Chopper to third. Lively's got it. He's going to step on third, fakes the throw, and spins around. Thought about tagging Evans again just for good measure, but Ian put out on the fielder's choice. Pavlik out first base, 2 outs. Schwartz moves up to second. Greg Sines singled in a run his first time up, walked his second time up and stole the bag, ground out to drive in a run in the 5th, and then singled in the 6th. Breaking pitch in there for a strike. Sines .318 on the year. 2 homers, 9 RBI. Ground ball, left side, going to get through. They're going to wave Schwartz in to score without a throw. 9-1 GCU. And the 3rd RBI of the day for Greg Sines. Schwartz comes in to score. It's the second time Gary's come in to score in the ball game. Pavlik is stopped down there at second. So Sines continuing to get the job done. And we're going to Malice. Just not enough room in this lineup for all the guys that are hitting the ball well. Sines got some starts at second base earlier in this season when they were trying to get working Bull over at short. But Sines not able to find a spot. He's played second. He's played first. He's played some third base. popped up. Foul back and out of play. Kind of goes to 0-2 on Zach Malice. First time Malice has got to hit against a righty. He ground out to the pitcher his first time up, flew out to center his second time up, had a beautiful bunt single, and came around to score in the 5th inning, the 6th run of the ball game, and then ground out to the pitcher in the 6th inning. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the off-speed pitch there, so Hansen gets out of a jam, only gives up 1 run, but 9-1 GCU with the lead. We go to the 9th. Boroff going to come out and try to finish this one off and give the Lopes yet again another conference series win. 9-1 GCU. This is Lopes Baseball on GCU TV.
There's an exciting new destination for food, fun, and relaxation in the heart of Phoenix. Come to GCU Hotel and Canyon 49 Grill, where our hospitality management students gain hands-on workplace experience and deliver unmatched service right alongside the staff. Enjoy beautiful amenities like the Oasis Resort-style pool, full-service fitness center, and enjoy Canyon 49's modern urban cuisine. From the gaming lawn and patio to the artisanal coffee and teas of GCVC, you'll never want to leave. Play at GCU Championship Golf Course, featuring over 7,200 yards of expansive tees and tree-lined fairways, plus a brand new luxury clubhouse, golf pro shop, and restaurant, all run by golf management students. See why travelers from around the world can't resist the Valley of the Sun. Room rate $79 per night. Visit GCUHotel.com to book your visit today.
GCU just 3 outs away from giving their fans another victory and another series win. The Lopes have yet to lose a WAC series this season. The win would push them to 24-22 overall and 18-3 in conference play, 14-7 at home, and keep them 2.5 games up on New Mexico State, reduce their magic number to 3. McVorhoff to face Dalton Hurd, Chase Wells, and Sean Sutton if we don't get a pinch hitter. Off-speed pitch. Ball 1. Voroff came in after A.J. Franks threw an inning and 2/3. He got the last out of the 8th inning. Missed inside 2-0. Jack Schneider right now, a chance to get his 5th win of the season. Inside 3-0, so not the way you want to come out and start the 9th inning. Voroff's got a lot of room to work with here, though. You walked him on 4 to start the 9th. So Hurd on for the first time in the ball game. He was 0 for 3. Still 0 for 3, but on base. I'll bring up Chase Wells. Chase Wells hitting .280 on the year. No homers, 13 RBI. Lopes have already turned a couple of double plays. See if they can get another one in there for strike 1. Turned a double play, a 6-4-3 in the 3rd inning, and turned a 6-3 double play in the 5th inning. A little chopper up the middle. Ground ball going to get through the left side. So a walk, a base hit. Runners at 1st and 2nd. Nobody out here in the 9th. First base hit of the ball game for Chase Wells, and that'll bring up Sean Sutton. Sutton had the solo homer in the 5th inning. So Lopes trying to get this one in the books, not making it easy. Pitch to Sutton, outside ball 1. Well, one of the challenges when you bring in a closer in the 8th inning, gotta get him all warmed up. He comes in and throws a few pitches, gets one guy out, faces 2 batters, and sits on the bench for a while before he comes back out. In the air to left, slicing foul, and it is a foul ball. Boy, that was a gift there because they are playing LaRouge more towards center field. Had that painted a line, Would have been extra bases and at least one run, maybe two would have scored. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Sean Sutton. You see it down the line there, just bending away and hits well foul. Now LaRouge back over toward the line a bit, so a pretty good gap in left center field. Sutton in just 214 on the year. 2-1. Sutton 2 homers, 19 RBI. It'll tapper behind home plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Sutton struck out in the second inning, had that solo homer in the 5th, and ground out to third in the 7th. Don't forget, we'll get a word with coaches and one of the players after the ball game. Put that up on Twitter. Follow us at GCU Baseball. The 2-2. 3-2. So now Seattle starting to get a little rambunctious in the dugout there. Lopes with a big lead here, but want to try to close this thing out up 9-1. Got to come back and play Tuesday night, and then senior day on Wednesday at 2. Final home game of the season. 3-2 pitch, and he walked it. So a walk, a single, and a walk. And Voroff might need a visit to the mound, and Rich Dorman is coming out of the dugout and will give him that visit. Mick taking a long walk behind the mound. Mark Mumper had hustled in to chat with him a little bit now. Mumper wants to get out of there before Dorman gets to the mound. Need to be a part of that conversation. You see Rich coming into GCU just this season. Of course, worked a number of years in the Seattle Mariners organization. Andy Stankwitz adding a lot of ex-professional experience to the squad here. Of course, Stankwitz, a major league player, and worked quite some time in the Mariners organization. Dorman in the Mariners organization. Gabe Borland, the strength and performance coach in the Mariners organization, as Max Modest steps in with the bases loaded. Greg Spence in the Angels organization fouls that one off. Modest came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th, reached on an air. Hit it deep down the line and looked like LaRouge had it measured and just took his eye off the ball and it nicked off his glove. Just missed. So now Vorhoff, the 1-1 count. See what Coach Dorman probably just said. Typically the visit to the mound is simply, hey, don't worry about it. Throw the pitches. We know you have the skill set, so just trust your stuff and throw the pitches we call, and let's get out of here. Now Vorhoff steps off and pats his chest, and he wants to see the signs again. Two and one. Tried to check his swing, but he went around. 2-2. That was pretty easy to see. Home plate umpire Ruben Candelaria pointing to Modest. Modest had a little bit of a reaction there. I think it was more the fact that he couldn't hold up than that it was called a strike. He's unhappy with himself. Should be a 3-1 count, but it's 2-2. Chop foul. Snagged at the end of the dugout. A good play down there by, that was pitching coach Elliot Kribbe, associate coach in his 4th season. Two pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Modest grumbling as he goes back to the dugout, as he did on Friday night when he was punched out on strikes. So now double play away from ending the ball game. That's the 2nd strikeout of the ball game for Mick Vorhoff. They got Hurd down at 3rd, Wells at 2nd, Sutton at first. Kyler Murphy's already got a home run in this series at the plate. First pitch misses, ball 1. In this ball game, though, he is 0 for 2. Ground out to short in the second inning. He walked in the 5th. Ground out to the pitcher in the 7th. In the air to left, that could be trouble. Coming over, LaRouge, you have to play it on a hop. 1 run's going to score. They're going to go station to station, and it's 9-2. So Hurd comes in to score for the second run. Murphy's got himself his first base hit of the ball game and an RBI. Had they really wanted to push it, they probably could have tested the arm and tried to score Wells, but they need a lot more than just 1 run here. So Jeff James wisely holding the runner at third. So now you got Wells at third, Sutton at second, Murphy at first. Top of the order, Griffin Anderchuk. Anderchuk has ground into a double play, or actually he was the front end of a double play and then ground into a double play. So he's been involved in both the double plays. Anderchuk singled in the first, walked, and then was the front end of the 6-4-3, and then ground into the 6-3 in the 5th, ground out to third in the 8th. He's 1 for 3. In there for a strike, 1-1. In there for a strike, 1-2. Well, he bent back out of the way of that one. Didn't think it was going to get in there. The 1-2. Breaking pitch with that buckled the knees. Missed the zone. And Anderchuk pushes the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lopes were hoping for a quick little 9th inning here and get out of here. Seattle had other plans. The 2-2. In the air to right. Schwartz coming over. Will he have room? Will he have room? He will run out of room. That wind just pushing that one out of play. Count stays 2 balls and 2 strikes. With this decent amount of room behind first base, and it goes down about halfway to the wall, but then with that pitching bullpen in there, juts in, and you've only got, gosh, what, about 10, 12 feet foul territory down there? So 2 ball, 2 strike count. The pitch up high. Now a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes with 1 out and a 9-2 ball game here in the 9th. Lopes just trying to finish it off. Mick Vorhoff making it a little interesting. (3-2), and he walked in the 3rd run of the ball game. Well, the Lopes, the last thing they want to do is get their bullpen up, but now 9-3, a slam makes it 9-7, and everybody gets a little nervous with just 1 out here. And they're doing the very thing they don't want to do, which is getting a couple guys up and starting to loosen up. So Vorhoff, 3 walks and 2 singles in this inning, and he's pitched himself into the heart of the order. Austin Lively at the plate. Anderchuk, a very good at bat to get that run across. Misses down low, ball 1. So Wells comes in to score the 3rd run of the ball game. Sutton goes down to 3rd, Murphy at 2nd. Anderchuk at 1st. So good speed at 1st and 2nd. They're not holding him on. In there for a strike, 1-1. Well, this is where you want Vorhoff just to gut it out here and get things done. Is that Andrews warming up in the pen? Josh Andrews warming up in the bullpen for GCU. Chopper. Can they turn 2? Maybe not. They're going to go to 2nd to get the lead run, and they'll get Anderchuk on the force. But a run comes across to score. That's Sean Sutton, and it's a 9-4 ball game. So give Lively the RBI on the fielder's choice. Really no chance to turn 2 on that little chopper. But the Lopes now just 1 out away. Bring up Struzma. Struzma struck out his first 2 times up against Snyder. Flew out to right against Snyder and then singled against Vorhoff. That was the first batter Vorhoff faced on a 1-1 count. Struzma singled into left center field. Gets past the catcher, Barnes, and then Barnes comes up with it. Boy, that shot right back to him and didn't even try to throw down to second. That ball shot back to him so quickly that he come up firing to second. He might have got him because the runner was just kind of jogging down to second base. But a couple runners in the scoring position. You let your replay here, and that wild pitch, boy, that was down in the dirt and didn't come up, but it shot right back to him, and he grabs it. The runner just kind of already slowing down into second, but nobody there, so Lively moves up on the wild pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Mumper, the slide, can't get it. The ball gets away from him. 2 runs are going to score, and it's a 9-6 ball game. Yikes. Struzma, the base hit single, is second in a row, and a couple of runs come in, and unfortunately, didn't think we'd have a safe situation in this ball game, but they pitched themselves into one here. 9-6. So that wild pitch brings a run across 2. And the Lopes just really not closing this game out as you'd want them to. And now Perrin at the plate. A tying run is on deck. Up high, ball 1. And we'll see how long Coach Stankiewicz, he's talking. He's down there in the dugout talking to Coach Dorman, trying to figure out how long they can go. Andrews is more than likely ready down there. Hurd led this inning off. There it is. Back to Mick. He's going to underhand it. And a big sigh of relief. Not exactly the way you want to end the 9th inning, but they get the job done, and the Lopes get the victory here. GCU goes to 24-22 on the year, 18-3 in WAC play. And they win yet another WAC series to keep that streak alive. They have not lost a Western Athletic Conference series this season. The Redhawks go to 16-28-1, 6-12 in conference play, and they are knotted for that final spot in the tournament with UTRGV, but UTRGV holds the tiebreaker. Lopes now magic number of 3. Any combination of 3 wins or losses by New Mexico State would put them as the regular season WAC conference champs. Jack Schneider gets a win, goes to 5-0 on the year for GCU. No save in this one, and Connor Moore will get tagged with the loss in the ball game here. Connor Moore gets the loss for Seattle, and he goes to 2-2 on the season. Well, thanks so much for listening. GCU baseball returns for their final 2 home games against San Jose State this week, May 9th at 7 p.m., May 10th at 2. That's going to be Senior Day, and that's going to be the final game here at Brazel Stadium before they start the makeover. Special thanks to everybody here, Scotty Mack and Connor running things downstairs, Amber, Aaron, and Swade. I'm Michael Potter. Thanks so much for joining us. Follow Grand Canyon University on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/GCU. Lopes get the victory and win the series yet again. Final score in this one, a lot closer than we might have thought going into the 9th, but a 9-6 win for GCU. Have a great night. We'll see you back here at the ballpark on Tuesday. Go Lopes.